Hi, this is head coach and general manager Tom Menas of the San Antonio Gunslingers. Come this Saturday, we're having an open tryout. You know, people ask me all the time about opportunity. Opportunity is only opportunity if you take advantage of it. Don't miss your opportunity to be a part of the San Antonio Gunslingers. If interested, hit the link below and we'll make sure you get that opportunity. That's why we're number one.
And welcome to the 50th edition, the 50th show of Branded live from Gunslinger Nation, as we bring onto the stage head coach Tom Menas walking his way out here. This is going to be a big show. As you can see here, everyone's out here at Gunslinger Nation. Players are out on the field, and we welcome to the stage head coach Tom Menas. Man, what a big day today, Coach. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's exciting, right? A resounding success. We'll just say that right now. Hopefully goes off without a hitch, and these guys get the opportunity they've been hoping to get.
Well, we played the opportunity video just before you came out. This is a big day. This is going to be, for some of these people, a chance to get well, several of them have probably tried out somewhere else before, but they're going to get the true NFL professional football experience today here from Gunslinger Nation.
Well, you know, we talked about opportunity, and we talked about, you know, what to expect. You know, Robert shot some great videos. We got those out. We wanted the kids to understand that this is a big deal. It's not something that hopefully they're not taken too lightly. You get very few opportunities in life that can change your life. This is one of those opportunities. So I hope they all take advantage of that and give it everything they got. And like I always say, be the best version of yourself.
As we see a view out on the field, we're moments away. So they came in this morning, and how many people we had signed up? We have no idea how many walk-ups we have at this point.
We're over 100.
We have over 100 potential candidates out here on the field. And
I think by the time we start, Ruff, we'll probably be around 115 is what we're projecting right now. Which, you know, the other thing is this. Here's the challenge for the coaches. We want to make sure we give every single player equal reps. We want to make sure that we give all the players the opportunity to be successful. So that's going to take some time, but we're going to do this until we're done and leave it at that.
As we're getting a look around the field, I just had to adjust your volume. It sounded like you were a little quiet to me, waiting for our first comment to come in.
I don't know. Are we getting any comments?
Not yet.
It's early for our crew. Our crowd is. While we have a second, Pete, Texas Pete, and Pat, his beautiful wife. I want to thank you so very much. I got a wonderful gift in the mail from them yesterday, from the Trump Winery. I got a beautiful package that had the Reserve Red, the Reserve White, and the Reserve Champagne from Trump. And it's a gorgeous bottle, gorgeous everything. And they're so kind, and I truly appreciate it. And, you know, undeserving of it, but I thank them. And Susan and I are very grateful. As a matter of fact, Pete and Pat, just so you know, it's very, it's prominently displayed in my office. We'll just say that. And thanks so much for it.
It's next to some very, very special keepsakes that you have, certain rings and.
Yeah, it's right up there with all of them. So we really, really do appreciate it very much. But no, it's, one thing, Ralph, that I wanted to bring up for everybody is, the expectations that people have coming into something like this, where they remain hopeful, they're optimistic. Um, Realistically, you have 100 plus young athletes vying for maybe 5 spots that are open on the roster. Um, you know, but the cream usually rises to the top. I've got 5 contracts waiting in my office, and I believe me, I want nothing more than to sign 5 guys today.
And
But we're not going to sign you if you're not going to, be
and if
the
more
guy.
to appear, you have a printer in your office, and you could print more of those if it came to that.
But what I'm saying is the roster spots available. It doesn't matter how many contracts I print. I've got to make sure that I have the spots for you. So anybody that we sign, our expectation is that you're going to make the team. Now, what you do with that opportunity between now and, March 6th, March 8th, reporting, that's up to you. You can go home, think you're a fat cat, sit on the couch and not do anything, and come in and get unpleasantly surprised, or you can prepare yourself and be, an outstanding athlete when you show up in shape and ready to go. So that's the hope and expectation.
We just got a shot there of the sign-in table and people coming in, and we have a collection of fans here already streaming in. This event is open to the public, so if you are in the greater San Antonio area, feel free to come out.
Yeah, and I wanted to, once again, all this that you see is brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and their CEO, Angie Hoffman. I can't thank her enough, that organization enough. They sponsored this entire event on their own. They've helped us to create this kind of atmosphere. For those of you that don't know, they've retained over the next 5 years the naming rights of Gunslinger Nation. Our practice facility is now the Gunslinger Nation, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. So we're really happy with our relationship we have with them, and we can't thank them enough. And of course, there are other vendors, Ralph. Without the Outbacks, and the Matingas and the I'm missing one.
Carrabba's is going to be here.
I'm sorry.
And Complete Care.
Yeah, Carrabba's, Complete Care. They're all here, and the food's being provided for the players by Outback, and all the snacks and other foods are provided by Carrabba's and Matinga's. And Complete Care has giveaways, and there's things going on the whole day. So we're going to be here.
It's going to be real exciting. And folks, you have a chance to get in and lock in your participation at the Freeman Coliseum. We have tickets on sale. There are still a few suites left, I was informed. I was kind of surprised to hear that, because those usually sell up first. Texas Pete chiming in, saying howdy, Gunslinger Nation.
Thanks again, Pete. Appreciate you.
Jordan Stubing out in Disney World.
Oh, that was, I don't know. For those of you that don't know it, April and Jordan, 2 of the hardest working people you're ever going to meet, surprised their children on Thursday with a trip to Disney that was postponed originally because of the hurricane, and now they finally got the opportunity to go out and enjoy it, and getting that well-deserved rest and spending that college freshman money on everything. But I know the kids are having fun. I know they're having a great time, and travel safe, and we love you and we miss you today. But you're going to be hearing a lot about everything going on throughout the day with vendors. That's the other thing. We're going to have Jen on, who's going to talk to us about that. We're going to have Angie on, talking about her relationship with the Gunslingers, and we're going to go through the whole process with you. So we're talking about getting corporate partners, right, Ralph? And you just mentioned the suites. There's very limited suites left, right? It goes to the fact that the longer you wait, you don't get to pick what you want. You get to pick what's left. So if you're a company that wants to be a partner with the Gunslingers, there's limited inventory we have, right? Get in now. Same thing with your tickets. Get your tickets, the seats you want now, the suite you want now, because this is going to be a historic year. It really is, and we want you all to be a part of it.
Take a quick look out on the field. Some familiar faces out there. Looks like Kali Rashad, Jonathan Bain,
Yep.
and Coach Fuller. And I think I also saw out there Glenn Gibbons.
Yep.
Out on the field on with our Romer Camp.
Recent
Kevin Evans doing the job.
Yeah, you're going to have all of them on the show today at one time or another. That's why, folks, we get it that it's a longer show. We wanted to do it through the entire combine. Here's the thing. It's our 50th show. Congratulations, partner.
We survived.
It's our 50th show and no homicides yet. And so one
attempted
of the
maybe.
Yeah, it's getting close though. And then, but with that, we couldn't have done that without the fans, obviously, and our listeners and subscribers and our ticket holders and our vendors and all of our partners. But it's a big deal. It's our 50th show. We're number one in the country. We remain number one. It's not even close. We're pulling away, and it's the off season, right? So my thing is that I wanted a special show, kind of like the NFL Network does it, where we're live the entire time the combine's going on, and you're gonna, we get it. It's hard to sit in front of your TV for 4 hours, unless it's unless you're bombing Netflix for a weekend. But when you're watching this, if you leave, come back to it, because we are going to have guests on the entire time. There's not going to be a lot of white space, we'll say. It's going to be filled in with players, vendors, celebrities, people that have come out to enjoy it, a couple fans, if you want to get a fan on here. And we're going to go ahead and do that. I got to go to work here in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that I thanked everybody for our 50th episode. I think especially South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Angie Hoffman directly, and I'm just really glad that we're able to be here and do what we're doing.
Pam Rackler chiming in saying, it looks like a beautiful day, and you are absolutely right, Pam, and thank you very much for joining us. It is a beautiful start to a beautiful day out here at Gunslinger Nation.
The First Lady of Football, yes. We appreciate everything Pam and Don do, and
we have our first question, although I'm not quite sure why he's asking. Naquan Murray asking, what time is the tryout? I don't think he has to worry about it.
No, he's probably wanting to get updates while it's going on. No, we're going to, what time is it right now, bro?
It is 8:43.
Okay, so it's 8:43 at approximately 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We're going to gather up all the guys, get them on the field. I'll do a quick little gathering speech and prayer, and then we're going to head out and start doing a static stretch. We'll get that done, and then we'll go right into the measurables, and we have all sports here to do
all
our
sports,
timing.
Speed and performance. Coach Bebe out here.
Yeah, they're going to do our timing for us and all of our measurables, and then after that, we'll do a quick break, and then we're going to go right into football drills. So it'll be offensive and defensive line, and then they'll be doing a lot of pass and defensive coverage drills on the other half of the field. So, my favorite part is when the big boys get to bang around a little bit. So
Jay Washington saying, can't wait to see the team. Well, you'll definitely be seeing parts of the tryouts throughout the day. And Tom Gross out in Albany saying he's watching all the way from Albany. So we are live coast to coast.
Thanks, Tommy.
Via the miracle of the internet.
We got fans everywhere. I mean, it's, it really is funny when you sit down. I sat down one day and I went through some old shows, and I just kind of pulled up comments on where they were coming from. And North Dakota, the Carolinas, both South and North, Virginia, DC, New York, New Jersey, Florida, Louisiana, of course, Texas, Arizona, Vegas, California, quite a few. And we are, I'm going to say it, we are America's team. We draw from around the country, and it's, if you want wholesome football, if you want God family football kind of atmosphere, you're going to gravitate to the San Antonio Gunslingers eventually, and we welcome you here, so. Yes, sir.
Taking a look back out onto the field moments away. So I guess it's about time to turn you loose so you can go and you do your job. And Jen's around here going to line up my first guest. I'm hoping I'm going to see Angie Hoffman here real soon. I know she's going to be here part of it. We also have, I think, two of the chair people with the Poteet Strawberry Festival as well that Jen brought out. And I've been told someone's going to be putting on the strawberry mascot and walking around as well, so we'll try to get that one on camera. Not exactly the football thing.
Hang on one second. Angie Hoffman. Angie Hoffman.
Paging Angie Hoffman to the
I
courtesy
see her
phone.
over there. She's just not looking. Well, I'll go get her when I'm heading over there, and we'll get her on, and we'll let you get started with the show. You going to take a break now?
Yep, we're going to take our first break, and before we go, we will play the expectations video that you shot with Robert Seco. Robert's around here somewhere.
We got to get Robert on so
Yep.
people can get an opportunity to meet him.
See the genius
and
behind it all.
that he does. So
As we are flagging over. So, yep, Susan Manas also listening in. Is Susan in the country? Not sure if Susan's in the country, but
yeah,
she says
she just got back.
it's a great day for football.
She had a red eye. She flew in from San Francisco this morning. She landed about 6 o'clock this morning back home in Michigan, and go to sleep. She's been up for like a day and a half. So I'm going to get out of here and let Angie take my spot, and we'll be checking back accordingly. I'll
Yep.
be back later.
All right, you're watching Branded live from Gunslinger Nation, the 50th episode. It's the Combine. It will be back in just a bit.
I get asked all the time, what can I expect from a professional football tryout? Well, just like the NFL, we're going to take your measurables. We're going to run the 40-yard dash. We're going to do the L drill. We're going to do the cone drill. We're going to do the broad jump. We're going to do a multitude of things to see how you rate and how you classify yourself as an elite athlete. After that, we're going to do football drills. That's right, football drills. We're going to do one-on-ones, wide receivers, defensive backs, linebackers and running backs, and of course, offense and defensive line, my favorite part of the whole day. Come on out and take advantage of this. You're going to get a shirt that says you were here and participated in such an elite opportunity. You're also going to get lunch. We'd love to have you out. It's an opportunity for us to get to know you better. Just check the link below. It's this Saturday. Registration starts at 8:15 a.m. and we'll go to about noon. It is open to the public, so we hope to see some of our fans here as well. Do everything you need to do to make this football team.
It's the high school football season, the most exciting time of the year.
That's right, Greg, and John Wayne Service Company is in on the action with Texas Sports Productions.
Watch and listen to the hundreds of games this season on the all-new TSP app and vote for the John Wayne Player of the Game during the games and the John Wayne Player of the Week beginning on Sundays during the season.
Go to johnwayne.com to vote and be automatically entered to win a $10,000 home makeover.
Get in the game today with TSP.
And John Wayne Service Company.
All right, team, huddle up. Just like in surgery, we need precision and teamwork. Trust me, just like on the field, if we stick to the playbook, we'll achieve excellence.
Coach, are you sure about this?
We've trained for this. We're experts. The San Antonio Gunslingers and South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where precision meets performance.
Dependability. It's expected by our customers, and it's demanded by me. I personally guarantee the certified techs we send to your home and the equipment we install are dependable. John Wayne's American Pride comfort systems are designed specifically for San Antonio's extreme heat and humidity and come with a lifetime warranty. For comfort you can depend on, call John Wayne today.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
It's like literally like hockey and football had a baby.
Type of action you'll never see in the NFL.
Let's go Gunslingers, let's go baby! Woo!
That's the best entertainment there is. Once you've been to a game, you're going to get hooked.
Welcome back to Branded live from Gunslinger Nation as we bring to our stage Andy Hoffman of South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. Well, good morning, Angie, and welcome to Branded, or welcome back to Branded, I should say. You were on our show before.
That's right. Good morning. Good morning. It's very excited. I'm very excited to be here. Like, this is amazing, seeing everyone out here vying for a spot on the Gunslingers. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Good turnout.
Big time and all about merit. So let's talk about South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. You have the sign over on the far side of the field here at the facility and secured the naming rights, a 5-year deal. And Coach has said this is probably the biggest naming rights deal in the entirety of the indoor football industry, bringing you on board. And this, this is a historical deal. And thank you very much for the sponsorship. How did you get involved in sports medicine in general?
So we are actually a spine and orthopedic hospital. So what that entails sports medicine, making sure we're taking care of our community when it comes to their orthopedic needs. We also do some pain management, and then we also do some other special services on the side, like ENT, cardiac, plastic surgery, general surgery, that type of thing. But, again, trying to serve our community. How and where can we serve? And San Antonio Gunslingers is a perfect example of us being able to come out and really help the community, right? So that's what we're here for, and that's what we want to do.
And that's a big deal because we're reaching a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. Now, you are a nurse.
By background, I am, yes.
And you were a surgical nurse. I think we talked about, and that's basically the surgical nurse, the nurse in the OR is effectively the conductor of the surgery, because you make sure all the pieces are there. You handle all rehearsal as it is for the technicians. You coordinate and massage the egos of the doctors as they come in, because they're effectively the soloist in the concert that is a surgery.
I love that. That is a great analogy. I might have to steal that from you.
Go ahead.
That was really, really good. But to your point, yes, that's exactly what an OR circulator does. They are a nurse with some specialty training to be able to handle, even minor procedures up to very, very complex procedures. So that's exactly right.
And I don't think there really is. I mean, technically there are minor procedures, but for the patient, every procedure is a big deal.
That is right. Anytime you are not at your optimal best, it is a big deal, right? Mentally, physically, just anxiety, it's just it's not your norm. And so the unknown and the unexpected you fear, but part of our job is to make sure you understand that you are in our hands and we are going to take absolutely the best care of you. I know for myself, when I was an OR circulator, I made sure to always tell my patients and their families, like, I'm going to treat you as if you are my mother or my child in that operating room. And all of our employees at the hospital, including our doctors, really have that same philosophy.
Now, the surgeons that you bring in, they are on staff, or do you bring in outside specialists where you're hosting their surgery?
So they're all on staff. So legally we credential them at the hospital, and that means we just check their background, make sure that they are the right fit for our facility, and they get credentialed, and then they can bring in their own patients for those surgical procedures. Now, we also do host doctors who are in school, residents coming in and watching or standing at the table watching our physicians do the surgeries, so they can also learn and go into their practice once they graduate.
And that's got to be really exciting, because you're there reassuring a young surgeon, and that's a bit of an oxymoron. When you think young surgeon, the number of years it takes to go through pre-med and
That's
then
right.
and then med school, and then you're doing a residency, and this is part of their residency and their very first surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay, you've done stuff with cadavers and all the
right.
other things, but this is
Real life.
this is real, this is live. They've done all the consults and lights, camera, action.
That's right.
And do you do anything involved, speaking of cameras, anything involved with telemedicine?
No, we actually don't. We are hands-on. During COVID, we do have a hospitalist and an ED physician, and we're able to do some telehealth visits. But after COVID, we went back to being able to put our hands on a patient. I mean, telehealth is convenient, and it does have its place in the medical profession. But again, we like to touch our patients. We like to be able to, again, build that rapport and that relationship.
And I don't know if the camera is able to pick up your necklace. You have a football necklace. Is there a story to that particular piece of jewelry?
No, and I have football shoes on too. You have to see my shoes. They have footballs on them as well. No, when
We might be able to bring my camera operator over to take a shot of the shoes at the table. They're adorable.
Oh, thank you. No, in all seriousness, right, when we commit and we say, hey, we're going to be part of something, we go all out. And that includes the way we dress, right? As you can see, our shirts, too, logoed. So I have to represent. That's just who I am.
And it's an amazing, amazing audience. I have a Audrey Gossett Lewis. She went to South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. Let's go ahead and switch over to that shot underneath the table. There's the shoes right now. Audrey says she went to South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital for her cervical fusion, and they were fantastic. Go San Antonio Gunslingers.
Well, Audrey, I'm glad you trusted us with your care, and I'm happy you had such a wonderful outcome. Again, we really eat, live, breathe, sleep, making sure we are providing the absolute best care for our patients, their families, and our community.
And there's a close-up shot of the necklace I was referring to and the South Texas Spine and Surgical branded shirt, brought to you by my roaming camera operator. Libby Clayton saying, sorry, she has to work, so sad, unable to get there. Galen Jansky chiming in saying, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on our live stream here from Gunslinger Nation. Beautiful weather, beautiful turnout.
Oh my God, the weather is beautiful. I mean, I don't think it could have been any more perfect. So you were blessed today with the weather.
You kind of feeling the excitement here as we're getting closer to, or only a few moments away. I'm working around the sun glare, about 2 minutes away from Coach convening, ending the stretching, and getting them out onto the field. You have a physician here in support?
We do, yes. So we have Brandon Broom. He's with San Antonio Orthopedic Specialists. He's one of our orthopedic partners, and he's out here supporting the team and those trying out, and he's here if anybody gets injured just to make sure that he can get them healthy to continue their tryout.
How important is it to have, in addition to the trainers and the training staff, we have a fantastic training staff here, how important is it to have a physician on site in a football game or at a practice when a trauma occurs, when you have an injury of any kind, soft tissue, God forbid, bone, or even muscle, to do that initial assessment?
Right. Well, seconds count, right? Seconds, minutes count. So having someone there to support those injuries is key to making sure that we can get those players back into the game as soon as possible, right? We want to make sure we're providing the best care, and the goal is to get them back to pre-injury, to get them back to the healthiest that they were.
And so rapid recovery is facilitated by that immediate assessment.
Absolutely.
And just coping and handling the trauma as it happens.
Yep.
And we are being invaded by Robert Seco. Oh, he's stepping the wrong way. I was trying to get him on camera. And he walks away. He's not going to hear it anyways. Coach is heading out to the field. He's getting mic'd up. We'll get to see Coach walking by on his way out. There he is in the shot, stalking out onto the field as we're going to get ready to start our tryout here in a long day of broadcasting, long day of being on the air. It's exciting.
It is very exciting. You literally can feel it. You can feel it in the air.
And we hear the initial whistle. Teeter Myers Haddad checking in from Virginia, saying good morning to the entirety of Gunslinger Nation as we see the players assembling out onto the field. And there's Coach in the shot. Anything else you'd like to tell our audience about South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital? What are the plans for the future? Because honestly, if you can reveal them, it's all about growth in business.
It is, no. And so, you know, it is about growth, but I don't like to necessarily say growth. I really want our community to know we're there, right? So I always call us a hidden gem. Because we're a small surgical hospital, but we're mighty. And so a lot of people don't realize who we are and where we're located. So just more of a awareness. I always challenge people to Google us and really truly do a review and comparison, and you'll find that we have the highest patient safety, the highest quality outcomes, and the highest patient satisfaction. And that goes along with our doctors as well. Our doctors bring that same culture. Our doctors bring that same high quality. We have world-renowned doctors. For instance, again, Dr. Brandon Broom out here with San Antonio Orthopedic Specialists. He's one of our physician partners with one of our physician practices, and he is phenomenal.
We wanted to take a moment to talk about leadership, and we mentioned your role inside the operatory suite and your role as the conductor and preparing. Let's talk about your leadership style. How would you describe your leadership style in business, in the operatory, and just in general?
Sure. So I consider myself a servant leader. I really, truly like to serve others, and I encourage our entire team to serve others. One of my main philosophies is exceeding expectations. And a lot of times people or leaders say those words, but they don't live that daily, right? And so on the daily, I try to lead with what I say. So I try to align my actions with my words. And again, you know, something as simple as walking down a hallway and seeing a piece of paper on the floor. A lot of people would just walk by it, right?
That's somebody else's problem,
That's
somebody
someone
else's job.
That's right. And, you know, I try to encourage everyone that everything is everyone's responsibility, even if it's not your specialty. For instance, you see a call light on. Maybe you particularly can't help that patient, but you can answer that call light.
And let them know somebody is there.
Someone heard you.
Right.
Someone is here for you. Let me go find someone to assist you.
For those who aren't familiar with servant leadership, what does that look like, or can you describe that?
Well, I don't want to give the definition term of servant leadership. Again, I consider myself a servant leader because I like to serve others. I'm not there, you know, to glorify myself or my position. Really, at the end of the day, I'm the one that probably does the least. It's my team on the ground that are doing things every single day to really help our community, and they're the ones that deserve the recognition, deserve the spotlight. They are the main reason that we have the outstanding quality, the outstanding patient care. They're the reason we have those relationships with the patients and the families that come through our doors.
And I would say that as a OR nurse, especially as the lead in there, servant leadership is a natural fit because the servant leader sets the conditions for success. They know what their subordinates need, they provide what they need, and they allow the room and the freedom for those subordinates to do their job. Absolutely. And if I come to you as a servant leader, I'm only asking you, what do you need to deliver excellence? And it's my job to provide that for you, because if you tell me what you need to deliver excellence and I deliver it, you're on the hook to deliver excellence. And that's how you get really, really successful teams. In an OR situation, anyone can see something and say, Doc, did we account for all the tools?
That's right.
And, you know, I had this particular gauge suture that you wanted. We didn't use it. You know, without pointing it out, because you never want to tell the surgeon they're wrong, but maybe hold it up and say,
I feel like you've been in the OR before. My goodness, you're hitting it spot on.
Because things go on. I mean, there's a procedure, and the surgeon memorizes it, but complications arise. It's like,
Absolutely.
that got
do.
nicked, or this got happened, and we needed this. And
That's right. And so, we really try to live by being proactive instead of reactive. So when you're always in a proactive state, you're anticipating what could happen, and we're prepared for that, right? Also, too, going back to kind of setting the example and allowing your team to lead. We give them the goals. I give them the strategy. I'm not the one doing it day in, day out. So I allow them to tell me, how do we get from A to B? So
right.
B is our goal. You tell me how we get there because you're the one doing it. And
you state the objective.
Well.
And the fun part is, the best part is, when you give subordinates the freedom to do that, they will amaze you in what they come up with. And I can't think of everything, and I shouldn't have to think of everything because they're the specialist.
That's right.
I hired them for their expertise. Let them do their job.
That's right.
And let them go. And boy, do they love it. They shine. They thrive. And that's really why servant leadership, I think, is really the only way to go. Now, Coach wanted to say that his style is similar to your style. How did, when you met him, how did that get revealed? How did that go?
We started talking, and then I really just talked about our philosophy, kind of our core values, and really what our hospital stands for. And he was like, that's exactly what I tell my team. I like word for word, almost what I tell my team all the time. And so we realized very quickly that we had really good synergy, and our philosophies were the same. We are a for-profit hospital, but the financials are way down the list of stuff we focus on. The very first thing we focus on is the quality piece. And then after the quality piece, we focus on being the employer of choice. We want our employees to absolutely love working there, right? It's work. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. There's going to be your highs and your lows. But when your low is better than your high at any other place, we've done our job.
Right. So best practices attract and retain the best people.
That's right.
And if you respect their initiative, they're not sure they're going to get that anywhere else. In fact, usually in most medical organizations, it's almost always top down, always doctor driven, or worse, accountancy driven.
Yeah.
Medical managers that are always looking at the bottom line instead of the patient. And I agree with your philosophy that if you do all the other things right, the financials will come from that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And talking about being physician driven, we actually are physician owned. So our doctors who are physician partners with us, they're at the table with us. They're doing the daily, look, and one of their high priorities is our employees and making sure our employees are happy. That's one of their strategic goals, to ensure that we're keeping our employees happy. And then for me, outside of meeting those goals, getting that strategy, I like to celebrate. I like to celebrate our successes because we do great things every single day. And sometimes it's easy to get caught up on, oh, we need to improve this process, or, oh, we need to do better at this. When we already are there, we're already great. It's how do we get from great to excellent? And then how do we celebrate that, right? And so we want to make sure that everyone's recognized and we're taking time to celebrate. This past 2 years ago, we, again, being focused on our employees, started an employee wellness program, right? Making sure our employees know that they need to take a break. And
who cares for the caregivers?
That's right. That's right. And so that has been a high focus for us, too, over the last 2 years.
Without naming names, violating HIPAA or anything like that, can you tell us maybe a story or two of a save that one of your employees did, or something that, if you want to name an employee, has done that you have celebrated recently, related either to direct patient care or all the other things that go into setting the stage for a successful and positive outcome for your patients?
Sure. So first, we have a program at the hospital. It's called Stop the Line. It empowers every single person, no matter what department you're in, to stop the line. If they see something that is not right, not process driven, something out of the ordinary, they're empowered to say, hey, wait, Let's take a moment. Let's stop for a second.
So
let's
this is like
reevaluate.
in manufacturing and factory work, the big red button that they can smack that causes the whoopee light to go off and makes the nasty noises, and suddenly all the quality control people converge. So that's where that came from, to stop the production line.
Absolutely, stop the line. They are empowered to do the right thing for that patient if they see anything out of the ordinary. I don't have specific examples because it's almost every single day, but just let's say a patient, because they're not only going into the room every 4 hours, right? They're going into the room, basically a CNA will go in on the hour, a nurse goes in on the hour, and if not more so. But a patient who's maybe SATs, like their vital signs have decompensated, and so because they're in that room more often, they're able to recognize it.
You might want to explain to our audience decompensated.
Oh, meaning like your blood pressure drops or your heart rate increases or something is out of the ordinary. They are able to recognize it very quickly and take care of that patient to reverse it.
Because even the patient might not recognize why they're feeling anxious. They might not recognize that their heart rate has gone up. They just feel different. And for a lot of patients, you have a lot of first-time patients that haven't gone through an inpatient or an outpatient procedure. They don't know what this is feeling. That overall anxiety, and separating that anxiety from a physiological reaction to something that there's something going on, and they sense it, but they don't know how to verbalize it.
Sure. Absolutely. Or, it's even as simple, and this sounds, this does sound simplistic, but when you look at it as the big picture, each piece is just as important as the next piece. So it's an H&P. It's called a history and physical. You have to have an H&P on the chart within 30 days, signed and reviewed by the doctor before you go back to surgery. So that our nurse is checking, and there could be a history and physical that's 31 days, right? And just saying, hey, this hasn't been reviewed by a physician in the 30-day requirement. Let's stop for a second. Let's call the surgeon. The surgeon comes over. The surgeon does a full review of the patient, and it sounds very simple, but again, that's a very important piece of the entire process.
And that goes, obviously, everything's documented in medical, in case you didn't know. Nothing ever goes on and without the documentation. But there's that soft feel side of things, but you have the concrete follow-up. Any other saves in cases of things that are done?
All the time. I mean, again, it's a proactive state as opposed to a reactive state. So, we do timeouts. Timeouts are really vital in an OR, and that's where everyone pauses to go over the right side, the right limb, making sure everyone's aware if there's an allergy, making sure we have the right patient, making sure we have the right procedure. I mean, it's a full checklist prior to cutting on that patient, right? Because it's called a never event or a sentinel event if, you operated on, I don't know, you were supposed to do a left knee and you did a right knee, right?
Right.
So,
one of those boneheaded things that end up in what used to be in Reader's Digest about errors, or drive the insurance adjusters nuts.
Some people, yeah, exactly. But
the underwriters go cringe.
Some teams, some groups, not our hospital, some groups, they just get into such a routine that sometimes they skip those small steps.
Yeah, they're seeing the procedure and not the patient at that point. And they get comfortable in routine. And yeah, you may have done this procedure hundreds of times before, but you have never done it on this person.
That's right.
In this circumstance and where they are in life.
That's right. That's right. I always, our team, like I said, we have a great group of employees. We have a great retention rate, and when we are hiring, we're just not hiring to fill a body into a position. We really are looking for the right fit. We need everyone to have the same values and have the same philosophy and culture in mind, so we can continue to provide that care.
And that's why you get in South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital is you get an organization, as we've described, that's actually looking out for you. So folks, if you are in and considering any of the procedures mentioned, you mentioned ENT, ear, nose, and throat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have cardiac. We do EP ablations. A lot of people don't realize that. So we have cardiac.
Tell me what that is, because
that's the electrophysiological aspect of the heart. And so you're like this is very simplistic terms, almost like shocking it to get back into a rhythm.
Okay, so you're restoring a normal, was it EKG,
well, that's
EEG?
a cardioversion. Yeah, I'm unable to explain it.
Well, the heart's a very, very complicated organ, and every part of it is being instructed by different parts of the brain and different signals to different parts, and it all has to work in perfect harmony. And every day we go around with this amazing thing called the human body, and everything that can go wrong at some point might go wrong, and that's what medicine is trying to identify what is and how to respond to it, and if it requires a surgical intervention or not.
That's right. And so, we have that. But again, what we mainly do, our main service lines is spine, orthopedics, and pain, right? Those are what we've been doing for 23 years. Our employees, we actually just had celebrated a retirement. Her name is Peggy Bean. She's our director of peri-anesthesia. She is retiring after 22 and a half years. She literally had a shovel and a hard hat before the hospital was even built.
She was part of the groundbreaking ceremony.
She was part of the groundbreaking ceremony, and her last day is going to be December 6th, I believe.
Aww.
And so we just celebrated her this past week. But we have long tenured employees who, again, their specialty, their expertise, all they have done is spine, ortho, sports med. So really, when it comes to those type of procedures, we are right there at the top. And so I always encourage people, go to our website, look to see what doctors we have, and then reach out and schedule a procedure.
Are they able to see the duration, how long a doctor has been on staff?
You know what? No, I don't think that is listed there, but that's a great idea.
Because it's like, okay, how long has this doctor been at this place?
Yeah.
That would give a prospective patient a sense of how integrated are they in the program.
Absolutely.
And how well they're known, and who is, and these people. I mean, I would want to know if I was going under anesthesia, that everyone has worked together before, that they've seen. Well, not everything that can go wrong, because that's why they call it practicing medicine, because there's always something new. You cannot know it all. And the mistake is thinking even for a moment that you do know it all.
That's right. That is right.
But that this team has worked together, and if things come up, they know how to respond to a crisis, and knowing the longevity of the lead. And I would think knowing the longevity of the OR nurse and the team, I mean, you'd probably want to ask those questions. Actually, that's another good question to ask. What questions should a prospective patient be asking if they are considering a outpatient center or an inpatient procedure, if they were looking at you and possible other competitors or other options in San Antonio, or let's face it, throughout Texas, throughout the nation, because you bring in patients from not just the greater San Antonio area? What kind of questions should they be asking?
Sure. So if it were me having surgery, I would ask my surgeon why they're choosing the hospital that they're choosing. I would also encourage my patient to get a second opinion. I think if you have a physician who isn't telling someone or saying, no, you don't need a second opinion, I think that's a red flag. So, right, you want to make sure that what you are saying they need is really valid. So I think second opinions are really important.
Now, people hear the term second, sorry to interrupt, people hear the terms, the phrase second opinion. What does that actually mean? Okay, obviously we're talking to another doctor, because normally second opinion becomes a punchline to a joke. It's like, well, and you're old too. It's like, that's a second opinion. No, that's not what a second opinion is. Tell us what a second opinion entails.
That just means that you're going to another physician with maybe your same x-rays or records, and that physician is agreeing that, yes, you need this procedure. Now, they may have a different way of doing the procedure, but at the end of the day, they're agreeing that, yes, this is a surgical treatment option that you need.
So you're getting another
validation
doctor to look at the same set of facts that your physician has looked at, to see what conclusion they come to in general, saying, yes, this is what is going on. And then the difference in the opinion might very well be how to best go forward what treatment, what procedure, what response should we have.
Yep.
And so you're hearing the options, at least another set of options. And are second opinions generally covered by insurance?
Well, insurance varies so much.
Right.
Some are, some aren't. I mean,
and so that would be another question that
yeah.
a patient should ask. They should talk to their
Yep.
insurance saying, okay, I'm going to go here. This is what my coverage is going to look
Yep.
like. Is a second opinion included? But even if it wasn't covered, having another physician look at the facts, I think it would be very comforting to know that they've come to the same conclusion.
Yes, exactly. And then some other things you should be asking your surgeon: what's their complication rate? What's their infection rate? Right? Tell me.
Ooh, that's.
Tell me about your recovery time. Like, why is your approach different? How is that going to assist me in my recovery and me getting back to my optimal state?
And that's one of those things that people don't know to ask, and it's sort of like you kind of want to know. Okay, I'm going to send my son, my daughter off to college. What is the 4-year graduation rate at this university?
Exactly.
I thought I was only paying for 4 years, and what's the chance that I'm going to have a degree at the end of all that? It kind of would be the same thing to ask. And it's not just the surgeon, it's the whole facility when we're talking infection rate and complication rates.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal because that's the net sum of everything.
That's actually right. Where your surgeon takes you for your operation is really important. I'm not going to name names, but right, even if your insurance company is pushing you to go to a certain facility and they have high infections, they have high complications, right? We provide lower complications, lower infections at a lower cost than most of these higher acuity care hospitals.
And that's not a bargain.
That's right. Why are they pushing you to go there? You need to think about that, right? Sometimes it's politics, sometimes it's contracts in place, but why would they not approve you to come to the #1 hospital, in the market for quality and outcomes? So speaking of #1, we are actually #4 in the entire state of Texas for our total joint program. Total joints. Dr. Brandon Broom, that's out here today, he's one of our joint doctors, and he is one of the 3 doctors who has made it possible for us to be #4 in the state of Texas in our joints.
Tell me about a total joint, what that means.
So that's basically replacing a hip, replacing a knee. Sometimes you think those are only procedures as you age, but younger people more and more are starting to have these procedures. And now there's new ways and new techniques, and don't ask me to go into those because I'm not
it changes all the time too.
That's exactly right. But they stay current and up to date in best practice and some of these new technologies that are out there. Again, to get that patient back to doing what they love, whether that's in their garden, whether that's taking a walk around the block or hiking, or getting back to a sport, or getting back to maybe weight training, that type of thing. So.
And that's a big deal. So any kind, it's not just back. It's not just what the name says. It's not just spine. It's any joint, anywhere.
Yep.
And right here in San Antonio.
Shoulders, knees, hips, femurs, tibias, ankles, foot.
If it moves and it hurts.
We have neurospine. Yeah, the only thing, we do not do any brain surgery there, but everything from the brain down we do.
And that's a lot. And at some point, is it safe to say at some point, well, we hope not everyone needs surgery, but at some point, well, we're all going to get older. We're all going to experience pain. Getting older is not for the faint of heart. Only the tough are able to do it well.
That's right.
But we're all facing that. And if you need help with that, South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital should definitely be one of the places you look, and hopefully the place you ultimately settle on, because it sounds like a great value. Some bonuses you don't need. An infection is a bonus you definitely don't need. A complication is something you don't need. Complications are not, well, you don't go into a procedure expecting a complication, but South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospitals and the surgeons there know what is likely or possible. The frequency may not be high, but they're prepared for it.
Absolutely. We are prepared. Again, we're in that proactive state of mind. That's kind of how we live.
Well, anything else you'd like to add before I turn you loose? Matangas is walking around handing out samples to the crowd.
Oh yeah, I need to get up and get one of those.
Get some food. It was an early morning, and hopefully we'll have a guest on next year when we come back. So I will allow you to escape. Thank you so much for being on here. Do you realize you've been on here for about 30 minutes?
I have not.
And you were worried, that you wouldn't be able to fill the time. Oh, heck no, absolutely not.
Again, I appreciate. We are very, very proud to be sponsors of the Gunslingers. Again, this is a like-minded group of people that have been able to come together, and the future for both of us is just there's no limits. No limits.
And this is Angie Hoffman with South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, the naming rights sponsor for the facility here. We're still working on how we're going to work that in as a name.
Absolutely. We haven't gotten the final details, but those should be rolling out hopefully soon. But not to worry, they'll be in place for when it counts, right?
And of course, you are the title sponsor for this show, Branded. Thank you again so much for coming on board and making that possible, and basically helping me, keeping Branded on the air. You're the reason why we're able to do this weekly in the off season, because of the support of South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. So we will bid adieu to Angie Hoffman as our sign follows over. And this is a really good time to take a break. You're watching Branded live from Gunslinger Nation. We'll be back in just a moment.
All right, team, huddle up. Just like in surgery, we need precision and teamwork. Trust me, just like on the field, if we stick to the playbook, we'll achieve excellence.
Coach, are you sure about this?
We've trained for this. We're experts. The San Antonio Gunslingers and South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where precision meets performance.
Lord, I do ask a special blessing over the Massachusetts Pirates. Give them traveling grace as they go back home, and comfort them in their time of sorrow after they lose this game. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Chaplain Dory Brown. Rashad takes the ball in the sweep to the right side into the end zone. Kali Rashad with his second rushing touchdown of the year. TC Stevens attempting the deuce just inside. 9-7. TC Stevens answers. into the end zone, caught by DJ Myers. And Sam Castronova being elusive, throws to the back of the end zone. Caught by DJ Myers, his second touchdown of the evening. Ricky Wyatt gobbles up Alejandro Benefield. Stevens lines this one up. Will it fade in? And it does. Left side of the line, no flag, throw to the back of the end zone. And a diving pass defense tips the ball away at the last moment from Owens. And we may have a gunslinger injured on the play. Over the wall was Clifton Duck. Gunslingers 2-1, Myers and Murray. Quick pass over to Naquan Murray. Into the corral. With the ball. Touchdown, Naquan. Blitz coming, thrown to Kali Rashad. Rashad slows down. And there is a flag on the play, as they're going to call Kali Rashad for a touchdown. There are flags on the play. Coach Fuller is furious with this call.
This is second of the game, and he's been disqualified.
Myers and Murray in motion. Throw, and Naquan Murray into the end zone. We stop the clock at 12 seconds. And the Gunslingers take a 1-point lead. The Gunslingers may be going for 2 here. Castronova looking, throws. Naquan Murray to make it a 3-point game with 12 seconds remaining. Owens and Redding on motion on the outside, trips right. Benefield looking, launches to the back of the end zone, broken up by Clifton Duck. To send the game into overtime. It is up, it is wide left. And welcome back to Gunslinger Nation. Ralph Judkins here at the booth as we take a look at the Gunslinger truck out there. The tryouts are well underway. Big view down there on the field. But let's come back to the booth where I am joined by Lori Lerma of Complete Care. Lori, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. We're so excited to be here this morning. It's great. It's a beautiful morning. Lots of people out there. I mean, just watching these guys in action has been amazing.
And they're out there giving their all to be part of, as what you saw there in the video. Great video put together by Robert Seco. Robert's out there on the field. Sure, he can't hear me. He's got his camera up and he's listening to the crowd noise he's getting, and that will be another video in the future. Wanted to say hi to James Meunier chiming in, saying, "Morning, Gunslingers, go out and get it done." Ronald Collier signing as well, one of our players, saying guns up. Thank you, Ronald, for joining us. So, Lori, Complete Care.
Absolutely.
Joining us here. Lori, how did you get involved with Complete Care? You're the marketing rep for Complete Care. How long have you been with that organization? And tell us about yourself professionally.
Absolutely. So I've actually been with Complete Care for a little over a year now. Love what I do here. I mean, it's a fantastic organization. And like you mentioned, I do all of the marketing for here in San Antonio. So super excited. Love being a part of this because I get to meet great people like you, get to meet great organizations like the San Antonio Gunslingers and so many of our other sponsors that are out here this morning.
And on your, we can't see it too clearly in camera, but your retractable lanyard says Chaos Coordinator. Tell us a bit about that. There's a lot of people who would love to have that on there because that's exactly kind of what we do. Is we just manage the chaos. Tell us about that as we get a look in at that button.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chaos Coordinator, I seem to be in the middle of all of the chaos, and then it's like I'm the middle cell, and then just trying to get everybody to get together. Whether it is setting up a tent out here for something like this, or maybe doing an event somewhere else, but I always seem to be in the middle of all of the chaos. I don't know how. It could be because somebody out there named Jen decides to drag me into a lot of these things too.
And we'll be speaking with Jen Bonomo in a bit, the marketing guru for Texas Sports Productions. And Complete Care came along as a sponsor. This is now your second. You're starting our second year with us.
We are. We're super excited to be signed on for our second year. So 2025, here we come.
And how does the Gunslingers fit into the marketing plan for Complete Care?
You know what, in all kinds of sorts of ways. So Complete Care, if you don't know, it's a standalone, freestanding emergency room. So we are there 24/7 for all of your emergent needs, very similar to a hospital without being connected to a hospital.
And the advantage of that is an emergency room at a hospital has the rates are substantially higher, and you might have wait times, whereas Complete Care is focused on getting you seen, getting you triaged very, very quickly. And it's not necessarily, any kind of urgent care. You can come and be seen. I would imagine specialized to outpatient, but if you need inpatient, at least you'll get assessed there before you go on to potentially to a hospital.
Absolutely. So that's exactly what we are. So we are there. We try to get you in, we try to get you out and back to life, whether that's getting home and getting some rest or getting you back to work. You know, you don't know. It's this season where you have this nasty cough and you don't know what it is, right? And so we want to make sure that we assess that and get you better and get you going back. So it's just like you said, you know, you get in, you get out, you get on with your life. We're there for emergent needs. We're there for those urgent care needs as well. We are not a long stay facility. However, if we have to transport you out, we make sure we make that as comfortable as possible, making sure that if you do have to go to a hospital room, that your room is ready for you to go.
So if you're doing some kind of home repair on your own, you slip, you fall off the ladder, and your ankle starts swelling badly, you're out walking a dog and you get bit, and you're able to control the bleeding with a bit of compression, but you kind of need that stitch shut. Complete Care should be one of the names that come to mind. Tell us about locations here in San Antonio. Where can they go? Because location plays a huge role in where you go, but it shouldn't be the only reason that you choose a emergent care facility or outpatient care facility.
Absolutely. So we've got 3 great locations here in the San Antonio area. We have one here located in the southeast side, which is very close to this facility. So we've got one there. We've got one off of Culebra and 1604, and we've got one in our Fossil Creek area, which is right off of Bulverde and Evans.
So if you're up there on the north side and slip, trip, fall, or you just want to be seen, you think you need to see a physician today for something that's urgent, you can come in and get seen. You may have a regular doctor that you're seeing for health care and maintenance. They may not be available. You may not be able to get an appointment, but if it's something that what qualifies as an emergency or the kind of patients that you'll be seeing is pretty much anything that you come in with?
It really is. So what I like to tell people is that we're there for anything from sniffles to broken bones. And you're right. Sometimes we can't get into our primary care physician. By all means, we're not primary care. We are an emergency clinic, right? So, but you can't get in to see your doctor. It's the holiday season. You've got family coming in. You know, they're traveling from all over, whether it's within San Antonio, right outside San Antonio. We've got people from out of the state here. So if you're not feeling well, obviously you can't get back to your doctor. Come and visit us at Complete Care. We can get you better, get you to be able to enjoy the holidays with your meds and all of that good stuff. So.
And of course, tell me what types of doctors you have on staff, or are you seen by what we call physician extenders? You have PAs and you have nurse practitioners?
No, we actually always have an ER physician on staff. You will always see a doctor.
That is amazing, folks. Yes. A lot of facilities in town, there's nothing wrong with being seen by a PA or seen by a nurse practitioner, but there is always a physician on staff and available on call for at least a consult when you come in. So tell us about the Complete Care experience. I walk through the door, I've got an ouchie or a complaint of some kind. I realize that it's a Sunday because this is a 24/7.
We are 24/7.
Anytime you need them, they are there. I walk through the door. What is my experience going to be as a patient?
Well, obviously you're not feeling well, right? So we try to make
it's a bad day.
Yeah, it's a bad day. We try to make it as pleasurable as we can. So you'll walk into our facility, you will meet one of our front desk staff. Every single one of our facilities has an amazing person that sits at the front. They want to get you checked in. They help you with any paperwork. They help you answer any questions, and they'll ask you what exactly is going on. What are you feeling? What are some of your symptoms? If you fell, where does it hurt? So that way, by the time you get back in to see one of our doctors, they already have an idea of what's going on, so you don't have to answer all of those questions all over again. So we try to make it, again, as streamlined as possible. You'll go in through, after triage, you'll get to see one of our nurses, and then our doctor will come in, talk to you, find out what's going on. If you need meds, we'll get you with meds, and then we'll send you on your way.
I was going to ask that. Do you have a on-site pharmacy, or at least for commonly needed? And of course, because you have a doctor on hand, they're able to write scripts immediately?
They are able to write scripts immediately. Obviously, we've got some medication on the facility as needed. We don't have a pharmacy on facility, but we've got other things. So we've got CT scan. If you fall, you're on the roof, you fall, you hit your head. We have a CT scan machine that is on site. We do x-rays, we do radiology. We have our own in-house labs as well, so we're able to draw blood.
That is exceptional, folks, because most facilities don't have those. They'll refer you to a location nearby, but you have to get an appointment for that, and they're available during certain hours. And that just didn't work for Complete Care because it was literally about the care.
Absolutely.
And about getting seen, and it's also very important to have that equipment on hand so the diagnosis is accurate, because they have the equipment that will tell us, tell the physician, tell the nurse what is going on with the patient, so they can make a correct diagnosis and get at least the initial medication. If it's more serious than that, you have relationships with hospitals in the area, or is that something that you consult with the patient based on what their insurance says to do?
No, so what we do is if you're going to need an extended stay, right? If we have to send you to a hospital.
You have to get admitted and you need a bed.
And in the event. So what we do is we reach out to all of the hospitals in the area and we find out who's got the open bed for you.
Right.
That way, whenever we do transport you out and you do have to go to that hospital and stay there, your room is already ready. You're going to go in through ambulance. We're going to get you in and you're going to be comfortable as you can at a hospital.
And that is incredibly, incredibly important. So as the name says, it is complete care. From the moment you walk through the door, everything that anyone else could provide for you in the world, Complete Care is effectively a gateway. It might be a one-stop, depending on what you need.
Absolutely.
It might be the beginning of your journey back to wellness.
Yes.
But it's all of that.
Yes, it is. It is all of that. And we treat all ages as well. So from
that's also
infancy
very, very important.
To very way adulthood, right? So it does not matter your age, we will see you.
So 8 months to 80 years old,
Yep.
Complete Care is the answer. Now taking a look at Complete Care's involvement with the Gunslingers. In
Yes.
addition to sponsorship, what are you specifically doing with the Gunslingers? I think you had some giveaways you were involved with during the season.
We did. So we were super excited to be part of the Gunslinger Nation. And so during the football games, one game I decided to take out some of our little foam footballs. And every time the team scored, we would throw footballs in the audience and they would go absolutely insane. It was so much fun. So after that game, I started taking them over and over. And then it was funny because the suites next to us would be like, hey, can we throw some footballs? Or can we throw some footballs? So we were sharing footballs all around the stadium and throwing them every time our team scored. So it was absolutely fun.
So you actually had people in the suites doing the throwing for you.
Oh, yeah.
So fan involvement,
Absolutely.
participation involvement in the program.
Yes. So we did that. We also work really closely with Megan and the team as well. So, the staff here that takes care of the players, we work with them. If there's anything that we can do to help supply things for them, or, they're out somewhere, they need some Band-Aids, I try to have those things handy. So we work well with everybody on the Gunslinger Nation family.
I've got to take a break for a moment to get the camera yes, exactly, Kevin. I needed the whole camera brought over because all of my guests were being profiled on the side, and I wanted to get a good view. That looks good, actually, Kevin. I just will show you the shot we're looking at here, folks. Now, oops, that's the wrong one. Well, there's our guest shot. Now our guest is properly in profile. That looks much better. As we see the meta shot, Kevin shooting the back of the camera as well. It's live television, folks, or live streaming. Thank you very much for joining us on the channel. Tremon Wiley had a question. What time the tryouts? The tryouts are actually going on right now, Tremon, as we get a look at the field. Out on the field, I think a lot of the players are looking to see if they recognize anybody out on the field. Well, I got to tell you, Tremon, you want to come out if you are in the greater San Antonio area, and you can meet the prospects. Ronald Collier saying he's not a player, but he has a grandson that plays there. We know the Colliers. And the Masked Bandit of San Antonio chiming in. Lori and Ralph are saying Lori to you, saying hi to you. Morning, guys. He's just waking up. Well, thank you very much for making us a part of your Saturday morning. Kind of feel like the Tournament of Roses parade here, saying hi to everyone in the morning. Here we are at the event, watching the tryouts going on.
Guns up, Trey.
Has this been kind of exciting to see the athletes out there, and I would think as a person involved in health, it's kind of glorious to see athletes in peak condition, or well, they supposedly should be in peak condition. Masked Bandit to San Antonio saying he's on the way. Great, we'll see you when you get here. Probably get you on camera at some point. Just walking around, it's like he's a spectacle in and of himself when he's here.
He's so much fun.
So in addition to what else would we like to highlight here about Complete Care? We know what to do, and the Complete Care should be your choice for emergent care when you're having a bad day medically and you want to get checked out. and you can't get an appointment. Well, so I guess insurance is a big deal. You work with all insurance carriers.
We work with most major insurance carriers. So right now, Blue Cross Blue Shield. So any of you that have that, any employers that have that, please get in touch with me. I'd love to sit down, speak with your HR departments, and figure out how we can help you and your team. So United Healthcare, all of those major ones we do take. Right now, Medicare and TRICARE are not currently accepting us now that all of those COVID benefits are over, but we are trying to get them back on our spectrum.
But the point of private healthcare like this is you can walk in and you have walk-in cash payment, cash basis pricing.
We do.
For those that are not going to go through their insurance. And it's actually a lot more reasonable than you would think. People hear of horror stories of what they are first presented for in a bill. I had one myself. My daughter was feeling bad in the stomach. Go over to an emergency room I will not name, and I will never do that again. And for just looking at my daughter and briefly admitting she didn't need to stay, honestly, once we figured out what was going on, they present you with a bill that's, wow, this is more than I make in a month.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not the approach that you take with billing. Do you want to talk about what a visit would cost?
The visit's going to vary. However,
well, depends on
what's going on. But the great thing about Complete Care is they don't do back billing. So typically,
Tell us about back billing. Yeah, what's
so
that?
Everything that you are going to pay for, you typically pay for at the time of visit. Like you mentioned, when you go to an emergency room hospital, you get a bill from the emergency room. You get a bill from the physician that you saw. You get a bill for the Tylenol that they provided you. You get a bill for this. You get a bill for that. At Complete Care, we don't do those things. So you pay your copay, and you typically don't pay anything else after that. Now, if something extreme happens, and obviously there is going to be something, there's always open communication. You will never get that surprise, and that's the biggest difference. It's never going to be a surprise. Everything is talked about while you're there, and if not, you can always call our facility, and that's the other thing. When you call us, you get that person at the front desk.
So not only can you just walk in, if you're not sure that you need to be seen, you could at least do a over the phone, what do you think? And they're going to recommend that, hey, this is a compound fracture. Maybe you do want to.
Based on what you just told me, you probably want to be seen. Absolutely. So if you're not sure, always give us a call. Our front desk is amazing. They support that whole facility 100%. So if you don't know, you're not feeling well, you've got this, you've got that, give us a call. We'll let you know if it's something that, we can help with, or if we need to send you somewhere else, we can tell you that as well.
Right. And so you'd be able to come in, you're going to be seen that day, you're going to be seen that minute. Not that we can guarantee because things change.
Right.
What is the target wait time that you have for your customers that come through the door?
So we usually try to get them back into a room within the first 15 minutes.
So back into a room, that means you've already been screened at that point by the nurse that's on duty. They're taking your vitals.
So
at that point,
so you've gone in, you've checked in, you've completed your paperwork. Obviously, if you take a little bit longer to complete paperwork, that time is going to be a little bit longer, right? But once you finish that, our primary goal is to get you into that room and talking to somebody within that first 15-20 minute window.
Try that at a major emergency room in the city. Now, obviously, as the marketing person, that's something that you use as a selling point.
I do.
What is the average wait time to walk into an emergency room, in the greater San Antonio area? The range of that?
For Complete Care or for a hospital? Because
for a hospital.
For a hospital, you could check in right now and you may not be able to see somebody for hours. Hours. And it's dependent on what's going on, right? So usually if you have like chest pains or you have some sort of trauma, they're going to get you back into an emergency room at a hospital much quicker, right?
But that depends on when they get there and say, okay, what ails you?
Absolutely.
That's the point where you're going to go back. It's like that initial wait time. You said 15 minutes to be back in the room.
Yes.
Complaint to being seen to getting to the next step versus you could be waiting, depends on what else is going on. Like you said, triage is a medical term where we determine who is the most urgent, who is going to be seen first. And if you're coming in with something that is painful but not life-threatening, it's not a threat to life, limb, or eyesight, you're going to be waiting a while.
You're gonna be waiting a while.
If there's anyone else coming in clutching their chest, or an ambulance pulls up, you get shuffled to the back of the line until that is dealt with.
Yes.
Saturday night in San Antonio.
Good luck.
Yeah, it could be a while. It could be hours. And you've done the research. And the alternative there is Complete Care 24/7. Anytime they want to walk in, 3 locations in the greater San Antonio area. Look them up. Heck, what would you advise? Is there a one number to call, or is it each separate location?
Each separate location.
So you'd want to know your nearest location. Go ahead, look up that number, put it in your phone, folks.
Save
that
it.
way you know the first call that you have, if it's an emergency situation or you're not even sure, give them a call. It doesn't cost anything to call.
No.
And then you find out what you need to do.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else you'd like to tell the audience?
We cannot wait to see you all at our 2025 season here for San Antonio Gunslingers. Guns up, San Antonio.
Definitely look for Lori. She's usually at the lower ring, but if somebody's throwing you a football or giving away a prize packet, that is going to be Lori Lerma with
Complete Care.
Complete Care.
We will have our Complete Care section again this year. So
that's
I'm super
gonna be great.
excited.
That's gonna be great.
So if you sit in our Complete Care section, you get a whole goodie bag all for yourself. So it's just random seats in our section. They pull your ticket number and you get a goodie bag.
And that was, now whose idea was that? Was that you or Jen? Because you're both marketing people, and I want to say that was, if not the first, if it was wasn't the first, it was the second section that we named, and it might have been the first.
It could have been the first. I'm not really sure. And that was a collaborative decision. We're like, what can we do to help both, right? Put people in the seats and obviously for Complete Care. And so a section worked out perfectly. It was so much fun. And George, I don't know if George is watching, but George was always in our section, and I think he won a number of our bags. He absolutely loved it. I loved seeing George at our games.
Can we say the name of the section for people that are looking to buy season tickets so they know they're sitting in the Complete Care section?
We're not really sure just yet what section we are going to go with, but we will have a Complete Care section. The moment that we find out, I'll make sure that you guys put it out on the Branded show.
And we get that out on Branded. Well, this has been our time with Lori Lerma. We'll be back with the second quarter when we return. Thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely.
That was painless.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad.
And we'll be back with more of the tryout show here live from Gunslinger Nation. We'll be back in just a bit.
Reputation, it defines us. How we treat the customer contributes to our reputation. It's doing the right thing every time and never cutting corners. John Wayne's customers have rewarded us with over 15,000 5-star reviews and an A+ rating with the BBB. And for that, we thank you. John Wayne Service Company, our reputation is in every truck.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
It's so easy to love Pick and Pull. Why? How about the largest inventory in South Texas? How about the ease of finding your part with our interchange and real-time inventory search at pickandpullsa.com? How about an organized yard and maps to find your parts, plus a shuttle? At Pick and Pull, we make it easy to save money on the quality used auto parts you need at a price you can afford.
More to pick, less pull from your budget. Now that's Pick and Pull.
For generations, the family recipes at Carrabba's Italian Grill have been bringing people together. From the sweet smell of our scratch-made sauce to our rich layers of lasagna, we believe food made with love leads to tables filled with laughter. Dine with us or order out at Carrabba's.com.
And welcome back to Branded for the second quarter. Now in the hot seat, I'm joined by Kali Rashad. We've got 5 on it again. How you doing today, Kali?
I'm pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great to be here. So taking a look out on the field, what have you been seeing out there as I go to my roaming camera? Kevin's out there panning around. Looks like they've broken down into specialties. What have we seen so far?
Right now we're looking at we got the 40-yard dash. We have
so we're still in the measurable section of the tryouts.
I think this is the last rotation here, but a couple guys we got our eye on.
Anybody impressive? I mean, you got to remember with Kali, his well, I don't know if your nickname is, but I know your son's nickname is Speed.
Flash, right?
Flash. Oh, he's flashing your speed?
Nah, I don't have speed anymore. I'm grandpa now. I'm old man. Slow. But yeah, it's a couple guys out here that we got our eye on. Nice speed. I just can't wait to the next segment so we get into everything else and see.
Yeah, they start throwing the ball around
really
a bit.
Catch it and run routes and stuff like that. So that's the part I'm waiting on.
So this is a little bit easier on Coach because he's got the staff from All Sports, Speed and Performance out there helping him with the timing.
Yes, sir.
And this is our first tryout at the facility. Mass Bandit of San Antonio saying, Kali, yeah, we know who's on the air. Yes, it's definitely number 5.
That's my guy.
And it's actually a good time. I've got a series of reads here. Wanted to go over. I'm actually going to preview the entire schedule. I want to give you the first crack at it, saying, okay, what game are you looking forward to on our schedule? Do you have one in particular? I mean, all of them are going to be big this year.
Yeah, we want the defending champs.
Oh yeah, looking forward to the Arizona contest.
We're not looking past anybody. I want to play everybody that we didn't get a chance to beat last year. The first team on our schedule is Tulsa, so I'm looking forward to Tulsa.
Yeah, I'm actually going to talk about that. I want to give some credits out to B.J. Steffen, Chase Frisman, Jay Washington, Philip Higginbotham, who also helped me co-write this thing. Our first game, all games are going to be Saturday, our home games, at 6:05. This one's March 22nd. As you said, we're hosting the Tulsa Oilers. We're actually going to be playing a 3-game series. We get them at home twice, and once on the road. The Gunslinger is going to begin their season as the 3rd game of opening week. We're on opening week this year.
First time.
Yeah, that's the first time they are in the IFL. And it's going to be fan appreciation night right out of the gate. Wanted to say these two teams have a lot of things in common that make this matchup especially interesting. They're both looking for their first playoff appearance and starting their 3rd full year of football operations. Nice. Both teams are relatively young, trying to establish themselves in their respective markets and build that consistent, large, and happy fan base as they're trying to increase their market values. Last year's performances for both teams, I got to say, was a little bit disappointing as the Oilers improved their record to 6-8 but failed to make the playoffs. And of course, we made the transition from one league to the other. Yeah. And I got to say, Kali, you've been in all of them. I mean, Kali was here since 2021.
Yes, sir.
At the Rose Palace, and that was the AAF. And then the transition to the NAL, and then off over to the IFL. Yeah. And despite all of that and our expectations, we didn't get a playoff berth, despite having the top offense in the league, and you were part of that.
Yes, sir.
Boy, did we have weapons for our QB to throw at. As I mentioned, this is the first of 3 meetings between the two teams this year, and by the end of the series, we're going to have a better sense of who of the two organizations is doing it better in year 3. I don't want to say anything about the previous organizations and previous iterations of the Gunslingers, but you happy here?
Of course. We're on the right direction, man. So 8-8 last year.
A disappointing season. Coach will say that we should have been 12-4.
Right.
Given things that we actually played the video of that game that you featured in against the Massachusetts Pirates, cut by Robert Seco, that has as the moment the incomprehensible, unsportsmanlike conduct at the end of the play. And I think you're the only person in professional sports history to have scored a touchdown without actually the clock had stopped. Without crossing the line, and just put the ball over the line, and he'd already blown the play dead, thrown the flag, and
make any sense to
Well, tell us about what you were thinking on that play. I mean, this was to end the game.
Yeah.
And put the game entirely out of reach.
Yeah, I think we were on our like 20-yard line with maybe 16 seconds left, something like that. 20 to 16 seconds left. It was a crossing route. I caught the ball. I seen I was wide open. Nobody was around me, so I just thought to run some time off the clock. I wanted to give Mass the ball back with as less time as possible. So I just stopped at the 1-yard line and tried to run that time out.
And Coach called that one of the smartest plays he'd seen by a player, because the instinct, everything in all of your training and conditioning is score, 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 score. Get to the end zone. And you were thinking bigger than the game. That would give the score would give us a 3-point lead at that point with the extra point, because they had a chance to take the game into overtime with a missed field goal later. That's the giveaway. Sorry for the spoilers, folks. If you haven't seen the game, you need to go back and watch it. It was a great game as we beat the Massachusetts Pirates in every time we met them that year. But that was one of the more interesting finishes. We had some other finishes that came down to the last moment that we didn't win. But that was just the heads-up play. I don't think a lot of people understood why it was necessary for you to do that, and we're kind of in shock. So tell me about your evolution as a player. You started right here in San Antonio playing for the Wagner Thunderbirds. I'm pretty sure at some point I've actually called one of your games for the other company I work for, watching you, and you were both a receiver, and I think you were the return guy as well.
Return guy. I played a little DB. I was the backup safety in certain packages, and the return guy, punt return, kick return. High school. It's a long time ago.
it's a long time ago. And then from there?
From there, I went to Cisco College, next to Abilene area. Not too far. Went there for 2 years. My sophomore season, I was first team all-conference receiver, first team all-American returner, punt return, kick return, led the nation in that. And then I came back home actually, and then I didn't transfer after that. I didn't transfer to colleges. I ended up playing overseas. And I went to Europe.
What team did you play for overseas? We might actually have some fans listening.
Yeah, I played in Hungary with the Eger Heroes. Shout out to my boys out there in Eger. And then I played a year in Brazil also.
Wow.
I went to Brazil and played in Petrolina for the Cajancas. So, yeah.
Tell us about the international experience. So there's always a limitation on the number of Americans that are on the team. Yes, that's the case in both. What does that mean for you as a player there? Is there an expectation beyond just being on the field and doing your role?
You're a leader in all aspects of the game, off the field, on the field. You're like a backup coach in a sense. So when I was there, I was like the receivers coach. We had a quarterback there that was an American. He was the quarterback's coach, O-line's coach. We also had our other coaches that we had, but we, as players, had a responsibility to also teach them the game, because in Brazil, they're new to the game also. So they're trying to get better and mimic what we do as Americans. So we had to teach them, show them the ropes, and we had to play as backup coaches.
And you said mimic, because in both of those situations, I'm sure, do you speak Czech? And do you speak Portuguese? Because that would be the language. It's not Spanish in Brazil, folks.
No,
it is Portuguese. That would have been an interesting experience. Like, how do I teach you the finer points? I just have to show you and do as I do, because you're not going to really understand what I'm saying. And I guess that made it hard for them to ask questions.
Yeah, a lot of Google Translate.
A
lot of we did have a translator there. Some of the players knew English, so we had to keep them close by us and have them translate for us. Some of the guys knew football to where they knew what we were talking about, so it was easy for them to mimic what we was doing. So we had a good team, a pretty good team. We were number 1 in the nation of Brazil, and we lost in the semifinals to the Wolves. I can't remember the first name, but yeah, we ended up losing to another American on the other side. So yeah, it's all right. Good experience for me though. All in all, food was good, music, people, the culture is different.
I was going to say, what is it like being the American abroad in those cities? I've lived on a couple other continents, and it's different.
It's definitely different.
Because you're going out in the public, and nobody necessarily knows who you are.
Yeah.
And that's where the teammates come in, because they can show you around and make sure that you stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
But
what places not to go.
Or some of them might get you into trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had some good teammates. I had some good teammates down there. They showed me the areas where they like party at and everything when I was partying, or if I did want to get out and go to the mall or go get ice cream or something like that. They showed me all the places, the areas, the restaurants. So they're good teammates down there. Good people in general. Just the whole culture was exciting experience. So I enjoyed it.
Does it give you a different perspective on being an American? I mean, you're born here, you grow up here, and this is what you know. South Texas, what you know. You go to another location for college, travel a bit within the United States.
Yeah.
What can you say for those that haven't been out of the country? What does this experience give you as a player?
I feel everybody should experience that. Just step out your comfort zone in a sense, and just experience something different. You appreciate America much more, of course, but you just experience different things and different cultures. It's a good experience.
What can you say that you definitely appreciate? I have a couple things that I learned to appreciate as an American living in another continent, because there are things that we don't normally see. I got to take a view here as stepping out into the scene. We'll see them on the right-hand side here. We have the strawberry from the Poteet Strawberry Festival.
Okay.
That's not something you expected to talk about.
Okay, but yeah.
That's a thing. There's a lot of things going on here today. It's not just the tryouts.
It is. A lot of things going on. Good turnout today. I like it.
So what in particular, back to the question, just things that you remember that makes you think, wow, I'm glad I'm an American. I'm glad I've had this experience.
I mean, it's probably a lot of little things that you don't think about, like your toiletries. It's completely different down there.
How people take care of business.
Yeah, for real. Like it's completely different down there. And then I didn't have a transportation down there. Like, I had to, ask my friends, my guys to take me this place, grocery stores and stuff, Ubers, Lyfts. But yeah, no transportation for me down there. And
so that individual freedom, the freedom to move around.
Yeah, freedom to move around. Family, man. You miss your family more than you know. Being away for 5-6 months of the year. And so that's some things that you miss and you want to get back to as soon as possible. So.
And family is very, very important to you. We see at the game, your family shows up. People you want to give a shout out to, that if you come to a Gunslingers game, Collie we were talking with Complete Care about them have a section. You also have a section because you have that many friends and family that show up.
Yeah, being from San Antonio, born and raised here, your family is always able to come to the game. Growing up here, you have friends that want to come see you play still and stuff like that. So I've been blessed to be able to have a big family and a supportive family and supportive fans. So yeah, man, it's shout out to my son. He's all at every game, trying to learn.
Surprised he's not here today, but I guess didn't have any family coming out here to watch him, because he'd be running around. Heck, he'd be out there running the 40.
I thought it was going to be a little bit colder than it is now. So he had a little cough. I didn't want him to be out here.
Yeah, Dad's not going to let him get out here if he's not feeling good.
Yeah, so I just, my dad has him right now, and he's in the house probably on his iPad or something like that. So
well, hopefully he's one of the people that are watching, or somebody's going to have him check in, because they probably knew you were going to be on at some point.
I didn't know I was gonna be on, but yeah.
Oh, we're gonna rope everyone this year. We've got all the players that are here. I mean, DJ's here.
Yeah, DJ, yeah.
And let's see, who else do we have? I know that's going to be here on my list of guests. Oh, I'm covering it up. That's why I don't have it. Just to remind people that DJ's here, Glenn Gibbons is here, Jonathan Bain, and maybe we can get Coach Fuller on. Yeah, talk about your relationship with Coach Fuller. You know, whether you were playing against him when he was coaching at Carolina.
That was one of the
what's it like, Kevin?
Yeah, the toughest defenses I ever played against was in Carolina, and he's a big part of that mastermind on the field. Playing with him on offense is one of the greatest coaches I ever had, and his mind is like no other, man. He's a great coach, great guy, even better guy, man. So
I love watching.
Coach Fuller.
Yeah, love watching the film, seeing all the attention to detail, how every play that's drawn up, everything is covered.
Yeah.
Everybody has a job to do. I mean, indoor football. I mean, all football is assignment football, but indoor especially. I guess to tell the fans and those that don't know, as a player, the biggest differences that you experience going from the outdoor game to the indoor game, what makes you, what makes it different? What are the adjustments that were made, and what makes you so effective as an indoor player? Somebody that another player considering coming into indoor would need to be aware of to make adjustments.
You got to be knowledgeable about the game. You got to learn the rules. You got to learn what you can and can't do. You got to have coaches like Coach Fuller too, teach you the landmarks and everything like that. Coach Fuller was a big landmark guy. He teaches you where you need to be, where the ball's gonna be. You just got to make that play. And like going back to knowledge of the game, there's different rules from the outdoor game to the indoor game. So once you get a grasp of the rules and everything, it's gonna come natural, pretty natural. And I'm more of a quickness in space type guy, so it's more congested on the field now. So I got to use those landmarks and everything to my advantage. So yeah, and then the rest, you just got to be a ball player, man. It's just, adjusting is something that you do in every level. Speed, whether it's size, strength, you just got to adjust. As is something that you're used to as a football player. But yeah, those landmarks and the knowledge of the game, you need that for sure.
So what did you think about, I never got to ask you about this, the transition from the NFL to the IFL, from one man in motion, and that was usually you, to two guys in motion at the snap?
It makes it a lot tougher on those defenses to have two speedsters in motion. I know a lot of the times last year was maybe a Naquan in motion, and then you had DJ in motion.
Yeah, Myers and Murray, you and Murray, you and Naquan.
Yeah, so we switch it up. Anybody can run motion at any given time, so you don't know what to expect for the defenses. So it just keeps them on our toes, and looking forward to a lot more motion this year. So,
and that's got to be fun for you as getting called to be the motion guy. You know that you are now going to create difficulty. Right. They have to watch you coming towards the line and what your movement is in the backfield. They've got to start looking. It's like, okay, is it going here, going there? Is it this kind of? But everything breaks down into man after the 2 seconds. That's something Coach taught me. Coach Manas taught me on this show. What did that mean for you when you were playing as a DB? We had a quick shot of the masked man of San Antonio walking across the front of our camera here at Gunslinger Nation.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he kind of stops the show when he shows up. When you were playing or looking at the other side of it with trying to track emotion.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult because I played DB a little bit back, so I know some defense, and having a guy in motion, you're looking and all eyes is on him. Now you got two guys in motion, so you got to keep your eyes on both of them at the same time and try and hopefully be able to play man-to-man at the end of the day. Like, if you're not able to play man-to-man, you're not going to be able to play in this league. So a lot of guys will try to get physical with you on coming off the line or whatever it is, but if not able to play man-to-man, it's going to be over with quickly for you. And the thing we had, our upside is we had a good offense. So everybody were, from DJ to Murray to Upshaw, everybody can run after the catch. So they can beat man-to-man coverage also. So it was tougher to guard us. And plus we had, Sam as a quarterback. So Keyshawn Harper as a running back. So that's tough for anybody to try to stop across the board. And then you had me come in as a fourth receiver.
Right.
So it's like, what are you going to do then?
Well, that was the thing last year. It's like, who are you going to cover?
Yeah.
Who are you going to focus on? You can't really double anybody.
Right.
And if they were looking to double one guy, it's like, forget about it. You've got another guy that's going to break your back. And we caused all kinds of difficulties. What do you think it's going to mean for this year with the core of receivers returning? Every name that you mentioned in the receiver core is going into camp. It doesn't matter who comes out of camp. We're going to have 4 names. Most teams, you might have 2 names you got to consider. I mean, everyone's a threat,
Right.
but we have the monster squad in receiving. What is that going to mean that y'all know each other and having that continuity?
Yeah, a chemistry that coming back. Everybody's coming back to where we already familiar with the playbook. We're already we can pick those other guys up, those other receivers that we do sign, or those other the quarterbacks that we have. We can pick them up and show them the ropes in a sense. And you always want chemistry on offense. You know what I mean? So you always want that chemistry and that continuity on offense, so you can click out the gate. You don't have to wait 4 or 5 games to be able to click. You can click right out game 1. So that's big for us. That's big time. And try to do it again and be number 1 in a league again. So.
Or at least get a better start than last year.
Yeah.
Taking us back to last year, those first 3 games, that was not the outcome that we expected on the road. Even in the first game, do you have any memories of that first game in San Diego? The final possession where we're trying to make something out of it. We had the lead, lost the lead with 15 seconds left to go in the game, and now Kali Rashad goes back for the kickoff return, all or nothing.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just trying to make a play. It's backyard football.
At that point, yeah.
It's just trying to make a play, hope, and pray that your prayers are answered. But it wasn't that day. They played a good game of football. We gave up the lead with like 9 seconds left. That was heartbreaker. So that was a good game, though. I mean, it was exciting game.
And San Diego surprised a lot of teams last year.
A sneakily good team at the beginning of the season, and then ended up making the playoffs. And I think they lost in the semifinals. So yeah, good team, man. So our first 3 games were tough. I think we had San Diego, then we had Vegas, I believe.
Yes, yeah. Vegas was either the second or the third game, and that was another team that got a lot better.
Yeah, Northern Arizona is our second game.
That was the home opener.
The home game. That's a tough opening schedule for anybody. So.
Well, last year was a very, very difficult schedule. This year it looks a lot better. Our longest stretch of games between byes is 7.
Okay.
There are other teams that have more than that. One team has 10 games between byes. That's a bit difficult. We do have the break at the end before the last 3 games of the year. 2 in conference, 1 on the outside. Will be getting more into the schedule as we move along.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a little bit better. Other thoughts, previews about going into next year, besides obviously looking forward to playing the champs, and that's going to be near the end of the year.
Yeah, we get to play a lot of teams that we didn't get to play last year. We got Jacksonville on our schedule this year. I believe we have we got Tulsa 3 times, I believe. But
yep.
It's.
I should have brought my consolidated schedule here, and they're delivering some samples to the table from the Poteet Strawberry Festival. Right. Yeah, grab one of those. Yeah, you're the guest that's on. We'll hold that one up for the camera. I get this turned around here from the Strawberry Festival. What do we have here? Preserves. Oh yeah. You get one of those. as a guest for being on Branded at the right time. Timing is everything. Ask a receiver. Timing is everything.
Timing is everything. It is. It is. But yeah, we can just play a lot of teams that we didn't get to play last year. I'm excited about that. I think we're in San Antonio against Jacksonville.
No, we're actually going to Jacksonville, and that'll be a return to the Shark Tank for you. What's it like playing in Jacksonville?
They're crazy up there, man. They're loud. They're crazy up there. They got good turnout of fans in their stadium, in their arena. So I'm looking forward to that. Going back there and getting a win.
And I'm sure Jim Renier and Bob Bush and everyone else is waiting with bated breath, fish breath, as it were, for our return to the Shark Tank and a bunch of other games. I want to take a look at another game here, just the second week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bay Area is on there. And they were last year's Western Conference champions. And it's the part of a critical 3-game road trip for us, because we are going to be going on the road for those 3 games and then returning. So this is the first of 2 games that we play them. They finished last year 13-4, and they were the Western Conference champions. They're looking to defend and make another run at the championship. Bay Area has clearly been reloading in the offseason. I don't know if you saw what's happening on their coaching staff, but they brought a lot in there. 4th time in their careers, head coach Rob Keefe is coaching with legend himself, Les Moss. A staff of 5 other coaches, and they have 5 coaches on the staff. They even have one with the title Success Mentor. Your reaction pretty much says it all. Success Mentor.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's another big game for us. The Bay Area, they beat us last year. Still got a sour taste in our mouth about that one. We had some, everybody has injuries, so we're not gonna make that as an excuse. But yeah, we want to see him when we're fully healthy and we're full strength, and see what the turnout is going to be.
And this is one of several games that we are their opening night.
Ooh.
We get to wreck homecomings when we play Tulsa. Tulsa has the last home debut, and we're in Tulsa for that debut. I want to say that is the next game in the series, and whatever the outcome is in that trip to Bay Area, we're going to have an extra week to ponder it, because after this is our first bye week, and a win could make that pondering a lot sweeter. What is it like for a player during the bye week? Talk to me about your bye week process.
Bye week, coach, he'll give you a day off. He'll give you usually a day off. Then you're back at it, man. We're back at this facility. We're early in the morning. Get you some breakfast in you. Then we're on the field. Got a little practice. We got practice. We go through practice for a couple hours. Then training room, ice baths, anything that you need that Meg can take care of and the staff take care of. You get that done for a good hour and a half. Then we're off to film. We're film studying for a good hour and a half. Then 12 o'clock comes, you get your lunch. After lunch, you're back in the training room, taking care of what you need to take care of. If you got to clean up anything with the coaches on the film, then we will. Coach Fuller likes us in and out, so we're not in there long. He says what we need to say, go over what we need to go over, and we're out of there.
So very, very efficient. And that brings up another question that I had for you. The facility here, having a location to go to, it's not just a meeting room in a hotel. It's our own dedicated facilities. You've got your own locker, your own space there, showers, everything on site. Now, since you have played obviously overseas and in 3 different leagues indoor, 3 different owners, two different owners here in San Antonio. Tell me about the difference that it makes having everything at one location. I hear horror stories of being a minor league football player having to you practice here at this high school, then to get your recovery time, you have to go to another location to do physical therapy, and then back to the hotel to do film study, and here's a voucher to go eat food at this fast food place. That been your experience?
Yeah, he hit it right on the nail, man. It's been exactly that, and
it's like you have to carpool with a bunch of other guys
trying to find rides and trying to just you get vouchers. You get it might be 3 meals a day to 3 different restaurants. So you got to go here at one time, here another time. Then dinner might be here. You might switch it up throughout the week. But everything's here. Weight room's here. You don't have to go to another gym. You can shower.
Or
here.
have a different gym membership in town because there isn't. It's workouts are on your own.
Yeah, those gym memberships get pretty pricey too. So
well, you get to write them off, but you got to pay them up front, and the write-off doesn't help me now.
Nope, not at all.
So this keeps cash in your wallet, keeps the mileage down on your car.
Definitely.
And allows you to do the one-stop thing here. And I guess this also helps with film study because it's a dedicated facility. You go to practice. The film is right there on the spot. Coach is right there on the spot, and you get immediate feedback and accountability.
Yes, sir. And you got your teammates there to go over things with them if they need any help with anything also. So and you can go and get some extra work on the field after practice if you need with the quarterbacks or the
How big of a
DBs
difference?
or whatever. So,
how big of a difference does that field out there make? I'm going to quickly bounce over to our field location. Having an actual indoor dimensions field to work on. You talked about those landmarks. What other difference does that make for you as a player? I mean, it's only been out there a year. What difference did that make for you as running routes and working to have the actual, this is the field. In fact,
so
this is the field.
Original field.
Yeah, this is the original field from back in the Rose Palace, and somewhere under there is Quad City's logo underneath the end zone. And
so you get your feet up under you. You get used to the field. You get used to. You might not have the walls here, but you get used to the field and getting those landmarks. And that's big for receivers. Just getting the feel of that field, that turf.
I see you looking out on the field. Hopefully my camera operator will get out there on the field as they're running routes. I think I need to let you go because your eyes keep drifting out there. And
it's definitely a good thing to have our field here, just right across from us, from the weight room, from our inside facilities. And that's a big time for any arena team. And we're just the lucky ones to be able to have that.
Kevin's out there showing us the drill here that we're seeing on camera now.
Okay.
What are we looking at here? Take us through what's going on. We'll have to get that out of the sun so you can see it better.
See what they got going on here.
Oh, that's coach coaching. This might be defensive line drill, so that might not exactly be what we were looking for. Maybe I can get Kevin to go to the other end and show the receivers running routes versus DBs because they're doing live out there.
Yeah, it looks like they're running routes on air right now. Getting the field, the quarterback's getting the field for the receivers. I think they're running a corner route right now. So you got DJ out there coaching them up. You got Bain out there.
Got all kinds of coaches here, actually, when it gets right down to it. DJ is a strength and fitness coach. Jonathan Bain transitioning from playing. And he's one of those guys that has been around and been a player coach. Oh, got a shout out to you here. Let's see, that's Christian Palacio Bryan saying, Kali Rashad, what's good, big dog?
What's going on, Christian? Bye-bye.
As we bring up Robert Seco, he's stepping in, pulling in. We can't see his camera view, but Robert Seco getting in our face. Hopefully we'll get Robert here behind the chair. Man. Yeah, we want to get him to sit down for a moment, but there's no stopping the Robert Seco as he's out there on the field. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to before we let you go? Because I definitely want to get you back out there talking to receivers and backs.
It's a long list of people I could shout out, man, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. My family, of course. My dad's at the house with my son. And try to get him out here at one of these, get him running around a bit. My teammates, man, everybody coming back, let's do it. make this run, get this ring. My fans, these fans, love y'all and thank you for the support. And ring coming soon. The organization, Gunslinger organization, man, thank y'all for having me for my 5th season. And it's going to be a good one. So looking forward to everything and can't wait till the 22nd of March.
So we get that first game going.
Yeah.
Before you go, I want to get your comment on this game, too. Game 3, April 12th. This is the game you were talking about. Second game of this road trip. We come off the bye week to face the defending champions in Arizona, who overcame a midseason 4-4 mark to finish 14-5. The Rattlers are the premier team in all of indoor football. Going up against the defending IFL champions, going to be a tough task for us this time around. Add to the challenge, this is our first trip out to Arizona in their new venue.
Okay.
And this contest actually might turn into a benchmark for the year for both teams. For Arizona, this is going to be the last game before the bye, followed by this is the team that has that unbroken run of 10 weeks of competition. That's the longest for any team in the league this entire year. How the Rattlers emerge from that is definitely going to inform their chances in the postseason. But for us, the Gunslingers, this is our second road game in a row against a team that we did not beat last year and another best of the West team.
Yeah.
It's a chance for us to prove we deserve to be considered in that conversation of the elite teams, not only in the IFL, but the elite teams in the West. And a win here finally puts the rest of the league on notice that the Gunslingers are not only back, but we've come back better.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough stretch for us. That's the Wild Wild West there. It's going to be a tough stretch for us on that schedule. But we wouldn't want it any other way. We want the defending champs. What better way to have them at their place?
To be the best, you got to beat the best.
In their arena and, see who comes out on top.
All right, well, this has been our time with Kali Rashad. Gabriel Munguia of Outback Steakhouse De Zavala location is letting us know that lunch is on the way. Yeah. Matangas is over here serving. You might want to go get yourself some good old Matangas.
Of course,
some good old carbs.
Yeah, I love Matangas. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And, before you go, how did you end up being the spokesman or as far as that ad, or what was that filming that ad like with Complete Care?
Oh, Complete Care, yes. That was something different for me. I never been a part of nothing like that. That was interesting.
Oh, you were a natural at it, man. You had the jokes, looking at the camera, and the ouch and startling the technician.
That was the team, man. They helped me out a lot on that one. So that was a lot of fun, though. I look forward to doing more things like that with Complete Care. So yeah, that was good.
So if you'd like this guy as your spokesman, folks, talk to Jen Bonomo and get in there, and we'll get Kali out there on the field before they're done with the individuals. I've kept you long enough.
That's all good.
It's been our time with Kali Rashad. We'll take a break for just a moment as our show continues. You are watching Branded live from Gunslinger Nation. Thanks again for the time.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. Right now, get a complete new system with affordable monthly payments from $72. Plus, get no interest and no payments for 12 months. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
And welcome back to Branded. I'm joined by Crystal Hens. I'm going to need you closer to the microphone. Crowd in on there. You can't hear yourself. It's okay. So, Crystal, for those who don't know, and most of you probably don't know, Crystal is the aforementioned girl with the crayons in the credit roll at the end of Branded. That's our inside joke. Tell us what you do for John Wayne and the Gunslingers. I think you have a lot to do with all the graphics that we see and so forth. Tell us more.
Well, if I'm the girl with the colors.
You're going to need to be a lot closer to the microphone, or you got to hold it in your hand. One or the other. There you go. We got you there.
To be fair, I don't usually get interviewed. I'm usually the behind-the-scenes person.
So breaking boundaries here.
Yes. As Ralph said, I'm the girl with the crayons. I'm the graphic designer for both John Wayne and for San Antonio Gunslingers. Most of the graphics, including this lovely background today, are things I make. So when you're seeing not social, Morgan does our social, fabulous, but a lot of things like when you come to our games and see the game programs, a lot of the flyers, a lot of the ticket vouchers you're seeing, that's all what comes through my office.
Oh, and that program is a magazine, folks. Every time you come to the game, and we send that out and spend thousands of dollars on that.
Yep.
We send the program out?
Oh no, we print that in-house, but we still spend quite a bit of time and money printing it.
On printing. And Kevin, you'll have to mute yourself because you're bleeding into me. Just a note to my roaming camera person who's probably out and going to be showing us the food that started breaking out. Matanga's here in serving, as I mentioned, and Outback Steakhouse, De Zavala said lunch was about to be served. They're setting up the tables.
That sounds like a plan.
Yep. Came here for free food. So tell us about Crystal Heads. How did you end up landing at John Wayne? How do you start a career in graphics? I have a lot of students that are interested in graphics, but how does one actually get started in this and become a professional in graphic design and graphic production? And would you recommend it as a career?
I think if it's something that you feel like you could love, yes. I'm not going to say it's always the most thankful job, but it's got a lot of perks. The way I came to design is actually in high school I did technical theater, but I didn't love the amount of travel and physicality that would be required for technical theater. So what I really realized was I just liked the making of things. I liked making the sets, I liked making the costumes. So I was like, okay, what's a practical career I can turn this into? And graphic design. So with graphic design, depending on what you specialize in, you can do a ton of stuff. I'm a bit more of a print/generalist. I don't do a ton of web. I know just enough to get myself into trouble and back out of it. But it really can take you a lot of places. Like I've worked on everything from NASCAR wraps to fleet wraps to the gunslingers uniforms to embroidery projects to building graphics to getting the details down to our new hire applications. Like it really is a wide range of things you cover in this field. And I've learned a lot of skill sets. I've even started branching out to help with some of the videos for
Oh,
this
I didn't know
lovely
that.
show.
Yes. Yeah, or not just the videos, but the animated transitions.
Little animated transitions, that's a new thing I've been branching out into.
And I got to say that's like the coolest thing ever. We're not seeing a lot of them because this is the slower moving version of Branded, where we're doing quarters on the hour, 4-hour show long. This is again our 50th episode, and that's why we're a very, very long live stream. We're already in hour 2. So those graphics, that's all Crystal. People say it's like, you're doing a great job with the I'm not doing any of that. That's all Crystal, and that's why she's on the credit roll, and we're in conversation. I'd hope Kevin to be over here to take a look at some of the graphics. He's out talking to general manager and club president. Well, coach is the general manager, but club president James Stubing. We'll quickly flash to him since he's being discussed. Want to come over and we're seeing the graphics. Did you have anything to do with the huge wall wrap graphics that we see inside the weight room and the pass-through hallway here in Gunslinger Nation?
Not the ones here at Gunslinger Nation. I've done, I would say, probably about half the ones where we have similar wraps at John Wayne. Jordan Stubing was actually the ones that did the GSN ones. He's a great designer too, and is a great help on both sides of things. We have a little different approaches the way we come with it. I tend to do more of the detail work, I would say, where you're going to have to do like 5 kinds of legal shoved into one paper, where he's a little bit better at the just straight up, it's going to look cool as heck by the time he's done with it.
So he's sort of the rule of cool kind of guy. And,
pretty much.
And you're the, that doesn't quite.
I'm the, it'll look cool, but it'll also meet the entire project brief you gave me. And probably the 3 things I looked up about the legalities required around whatever we're working on.
So whether that is copyright, fair use, or...
Yeah, do we need to have license numbers on it? Does it need to be done in a specific format? Like, Jordan started wrapping our vehicles, and I was the one that had to come back and tell him, like, hey, you do know that based on TDLR rules, we need to have that number like 4 inches high on all those trucks, right? We can't just shrink that down for aesthetics.
Yeah, because, that's boring. I don't want to look at that.
So we balance each other well. He pushes me to just make more stuff that just looks cool, and I'm the one coming around behind him like, hey, we have some design specs we have to like meet first.
So back to design, was there schooling involved, or is this all OJT?
Well, there's two ways you can come at it for graphic design. A lot of people are self-taught, like Jordan. Jordan just took it on and has an eye for it and did it. Personally, I am college educated. I have a Bachelor of Computer Graphic Arts from the University of Incarnate Word with a minor in communications. I did a 4-year degree there, and I learned quite a lot. I think that's also why I tend to be a bit more on the technical side with it, because our program very much emphasized it in a commercial sense, that this is going to be your job and not just art.
So it wasn't art for art's sake, it's art for, there's a person paying for this and they want their deliverable on time, and as you said, it has to meet what was in the brief. What normally goes into one of those briefs, or what should go in a brief that you want to receive for a project, as opposed to, I'm sure, some...
That's the safer question. That is definitely the safer question to be what would be the ideal brief. The ideal brief would give me the range of the project, which would include the list of deliverables they want. So that could be anything from like, hey, we want a logo, or hey, we want a suite of logos, or hey, we're gonna need a graphic in these sizes for these uses. And then in addition to that, it should give me both what they want included. Now, whether that's specific things like, hey, we need a graphic for our upcoming, well, for tryouts. The brief for this is probably a pretty good one. It needed to meet the branded guidelines, and it needed to have
the branded guidelines? I didn't know we had guidelines.
I may have a list somewhere.
There's a list.
There may be a list on a computer somewhere that has some guidelines about the branded logos and things. I may also slightly be the one that keeps our files organized.
Ah.
Some days. But for something like this, like, it needs to include the logo, it needs to talk about being branded, it needed to say where we were broadcasting from, we wanted to leave dates off, and it needed to reference what's happening today, so the football players on a field doing their tryouts. So we had all of that as part of the brief. Now that's a pretty good brief. I knew when it needed to be done by, I knew what specs, so what size, what print, all of that needed to be done, so I knew all the details to create the item. Because especially doing design commercially, you're not just looking at something going, hey, this is what I feel like making, like you do with traditional art. You're using those sorts of skills and being like, hey, I have a set thing I need to communicate in a set way that other people are going to stand, and it needs to meet certain guidelines so that it can be reliably reproduced at scale, usually.
Okay, by at scale you mean?
Now that could be two different things. It can be that at scale could mean that when I'm designing it, it looks tiny on my computer, it's going to print out correctly, or it could mean that I've done everything to set that file up correctly, that it's going to print perfectly and exactly how I mean it to, whether I'm printing one of them or 200,000 of them.
And that's very, very important, because we're not talking about running a piece of paper through a printer or a copier, are we?
No, like some of the jobs we do, especially on the John Wayne side, a lot of what we do for Gunslingers is in-house. We've brought a lot of our production in-house. We have a basically low-level copy shop in office now for Gunslingers. That's how we're able to produce the programs in-house. But for John Wayne, we still have a lot of things that are just really large and not able to be done in-house. One thing for reference on that is we do a Christmas card mailer every year for all of our customers on the John Wayne side. That this year worked out to about 209,000 cards, give or take, between people that have reached out to us, past customers, current customers.
And that's something that John Wayne is big about staying in touch, because this is about, it's a service company, and they live on referrals.
And we're family owned, we're family operated. You get that feeling working there, and we like to send things like that to our customers that still feel not like you're getting service from some commercial entity, but from the place that you can trust, that you've always been getting it from. But when you do big mailings like that as a designer, you have to make sure that file is on it. So like even in our smaller design department, being just a single company and not working for a design firm, that file was designed. It met all the specs. I talked with the printers to get all the specs from them that it needed to meet, whether it was an RGB file, CMYK file, what size it needed to meet, what layout it needs to meet, what the postmaster needs for it to run through UPS, because USPS, because we were doing that as a pre-sorted item, so it had certain specs it has to meet to be able to run through their printers. So you have to coordinate all that when you're doing the design, get it approved, get it proofread. Always get anything going through a major printing proofread. If you ever listen to any design advice I have, get a proofreader that is not yourself.
Which is why you had in the past sent me documents to look at.
You have proofread the program a few times because, as many of my lovely coworkers will tell you, I may be a good designer. Football was very new to me when I joined it. I've been working for John Wayne with 9 years. And then we got involved with the Gunslingers, I think 3 or 4 years ago now. So it's been a bit of a transition. I've been enjoying it. I definitely wasn't what I was planning when I got my degree, but like with everything else, I never planned NASCAR wraps either.
Right.
So sometimes with design, you just get a fun project and you get to roll with it.
What has been, of any products that anyone that's been, any of our season ticket holders, any of our fans have seen, what is a product that you can point to and say you are proudest of, that it had the impact you wanted? Because you've done a lot of projects over the last 3 years for the Gunslingers. Any one of them stand out for you that you say, yeah, I was really happy, not only how that turned out, but perhaps how it worked out and the attention that it got?
I would say it probably is the programs for Gunslinger, just because they are a labor of love and dedication to get those ready for each and every game, each and every time. They require a whole lot of people helping with them, and I like bringing that all together. Because I may be the one that makes the design file, but I'm getting pieces from our sponsors, our partners. I'm getting information from people in the football community that are sharing articles with us and stats so that we can produce this for the players. And I also really loved last year when we added the player spotlights and the 6-shooter spotlights, because sometimes I'm a little disconnected from the team itself. I'm not here at GSN very often. I work mostly remotely. And it's nice to be able to get to know the players that are on our field and not just see them in the photos our photographers send me, you know? So I've really enjoyed that being a big project. I think the fans, from what I've talked about, get a lot out of it. I mean, though, if we're gonna just go for like straight up 'twas cool sort of thing, probably
That's a good standard. 'Twas cool. You might want to copyright that. 'Twas cool.
It's probably some of the vehicle wraps and things that get seen a lot. Jordan does most of the ones of his own for his truck that he
Yeah, we
drives
saw
around the field.
that. We saw that earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah, I think that's about the 3rd iteration of that truck's wrap.
Right, and one of the iterations ended up being used in a criminal enterprise.
Oh,
that was another story.
That was a whole.
Hey,
that was a
Jordan, if
fun
you're
day
still
at
watching.
That was a fun day at the office when that went round. I couldn't believe they took a wrapped truck, and such a distinctly wrapped
Yeah,
truck.
it's like, yeah, we're gonna be low key and anonymous, and we're gonna go around in a vehicle.
Did you know they took it through like a Taco Bell drive-through?
I imagine the footage on that.
We all really wanted the footage of that because we were all just flabbergasted when that popped up on social media.
It's like, hey,
We were just there.
the Gunslinger truck is now a gun truck.
Well, I don't know about that. Hopefully it didn't get that far. It definitely got taken for a joyride though. But yeah, we redid the wrap after that. They were not gentle on the truck.
Yep, and yeah, that's so it goes out in the Wild West that was Lavernia.
And sometimes, and as far as projects too, this wasn't one I got to take to completion, but doing the uniform designs has been fun. And Jordan and I passed those back and forth a lot. And I really loved that a design that we had kind of were going to do for one of the previous seasons then got kind of reformatted into what eventually became the Outlaw.
Right. The belt buckle, gun belt,
it wasn't
kind of
the
look.
design we originally started out, but the concept ended up going through, and I was really pleased with that. Jordan and I both had a lot of fun with that, and the photo shoot for that was fabulous. We had a lot of fun with that photo shoot. The players were really into it. They really liked that uniform. They thought it was cool. It made a good finale uniform.
In fact, that a uniform, one of the samples of it is inside our sort of developing Hall of Fame in the hallway there.
We do keep jerseys, all the jerseys that we have designed, which is fun. I'm excited to see where that goes in a few years as we get to put it up. We've done that at John Wayne for years, where we keep photos of the various truck wraps and stuff we've done. And it's always nice to be able to like look back and see the iterations over the years of what you've done and redone and how it's evolved.
And that makes me think of an idea. I don't know if you've considered this. What if we took all of the programs and had them bound as a volume, as a retrospective by year?
Big old book.
Yeah, because these are not. This is not an 8-page layout. This is not a bifold.
I'm trying to think of what the actual file size is offhand. I will say that the system we use to print, I have to print a not as quite of high a resolution file as I normally would, just because the size of it in general I have to knock down a little bit. Thankfully, for the way we're printing it, it still looks good, but from a back-end point, it was a little fun. And then I got to have some emails with the manufacturer of our printing system, be like, what is the actual file size limit? And they're like, you're over it. That's why it's not working. It's not a glitch. It's not just wrong. You're just...
You broke it.
Maybe a little bit. We did wear out one office printer the first season we did Gunslingers and had to upgrade.
Hopefully it was under warranty.
It was, thankfully.
We kind of violated the mileage limit on that lease, but...
a little bit, just a little bit. They were like, yeah, if you're going to keep printing at this high a volume, we're going to bump you up to... Now we've got a really nice Ricoh.
We need a different service program, and we may need a higher capacity piece of equipment, because that's why you don't have 1-ton trucks hauling trailers around on the highway, because, yeah, it can pull that trailer, but not for long and not very far.
No,
that printer can only do so much.
We definitely overdid it. It's interesting from a design perspective, and this is probably going to be boring for anybody that doesn't do design. The first time we did the big mass printings of programs that we do for the games now, doing the calculations for the ink and everything was wild. And then we figured out some ways to kind of knock down some of that, because currently our production time is quite extensive on it, and our printer,
but you only have a week.
Well,
sometimes with
back-to-backs. It usually gets printed the day before. So.
Right, because the critical fact on that one is the names of the players on the opposing team.
Usually the last thing that gets loaded in is the 2-team rosters and the league specs from the previous game. We'll work all week on getting the other stuff in and getting, ads designed and layered in and all that good stuff. But usually then those are the last couple things that have to be popped in, and then we're usually going to print sometimes the night before the game. Ideally the day before the game is really what we try to achieve on that. But
so that would be a more relaxed pace, that it's actually the day before.
If I'm printing in the morning the day before a game, I am a happy camper. We've cut it a little close a couple times when we had other opposing teams that didn't want to send their information, or we couldn't get information, or we had last-minute changes to ads or things, and then...
To the best of our knowledge.
That is why that disclaimer is in the program, because as much as I would love to have it perfectly accurate all the time, there's so many same-day changes that happen sometimes. Who flew in with the opposing team wasn't quite who they thought was going to be flying, or,
And then the jersey numbers change, and yeah.
We have gotten a lot better about that over the years. I will say that first season where we took over halfway through it was a wild ride. That was fun.
Yeah, that was just getting through it. Well, I'll let you out of here, get back to circulating, and maybe getting a pass at lunch. So this wasn't too terribly painful, was it?
No, but I will be very happy to go fade back into the rafters that you usually see me at the game. I do attend the games sometimes. I'm usually backstage, I would call it. I'm usually up in the rafters with Texas AVL or something if I am at the games.
Anyone you want to make a shout out to before you get out of the hot seat?
Just everybody that runs it. I couldn't do half of what I do design-wise without all the help I get.
Fantastic. Well, folks, this is the girl with the crayons, Crystal Hens, our graphic design specialist for the San Antonio Gunslingers. Thank you very much for being on and taking us into halftime. When we'll be back, it's the third quarter as we head into 11 o'clock here from Gunslinger Nation. The tryouts continue out on the field as we get a preview of Matenga's offerings for lunch. You are watching Branded, the Combine Edition 50th episode. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home,
Call John Wayne today or visit us at johnwayne.com.
Hey San Antonio, are you tired of the same old chain pizza that tastes like cardboard? I thought we were done eating paper in school. Maybe not. It's up to you. At Matenga's, we bring you flavors that are authentically Texan. We're talking about fresh dough that we made in store every single day. We're talking about cheese that's shredded in store for that authentic cheese flavor. We're talking about brisket because this is Texas, y'all. We're talking about our Texas rolls. Can't get those anywhere else. We're talking about Texas ranch because when you put jalapenos and ranch together and you dip it in with pizza, just drink it. Lastly, we got a pothole pizza because we had to name a pizza after our roads. You know what I'm talking about. Can't wait to see you soon. Find a Matenga's near you.
Welcome to South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, an outpatient center. Step into our operating rooms, where highly skilled surgeons work hand in hand with specialized technicians. Our dedicated team has extensive experience and expertise in spine and surgical procedures. Our commitment to patient safety is unwavering. We understand that your well-being is at the heart of everything we do. South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, an outpatient center where expertise, longevity, and state-of-the-art technology come together for your health.
And welcome back to Branded for the second half as we take a look out on the field. Receivers in action with our live remote camera and another remote camera in our faces. Robert Seco is hovering around the field. I'm joined on the hot seat with the club president, James Stubing. Welcome back to Branded. I think this is like your third or fourth appearance on the show.
Fifth, sixth. Somewhere there.
Something like that, whatever it takes. 110, 115, whatever it takes. Working our way through the schedule, we're up to week 4, April 19th. We go to Tulsa, and we are the home opener. I think we are the home opener for 3 teams this year. Second meeting with the Oilers marks the final leg of a 3-game, 4-week stretch away from the Freeman Coliseum. From a ticket sales and marketing perspective, this is going to be a big game because this is going to help with attendance greatly. If we can return to San Antonio with a winning record, given the quality of their opponents, a win in Tulsa seems almost mandatory at that point. James, I don't know if you knew this is historical trivia. One of the many area indoor football teams that played in San Antonio before the Gunslingers, the San Antonio Talons, which John Wayne was a sponsor of, moved to the Alamo City from Tulsa. So it's the game marks the first team that since the Talons that an area indoor team from San Antonio plays in Tulsa. And as mentioned, it's the home opener for the Oilers, the latest home opener in the entire league as they play 3 road games plus a week 2 bye for a delayed start. So we get to see their opening crowd. Gives their marketing team an opportunity to make the Box Center a loud venue, raucous venue, and probably a hostile environment. We'll see what they make of it, as the Gunslingers are going to have to overcome on the road.
Yeah, I was disappointed last year we didn't get to go to Tulsa. They came to us, but we didn't get to go to them. So looking forward to that, just up the road.
Looking forward to a lot more Eastern team opponents on our schedule this year.
Sure. I'm looking forward to playing Jacksonville. I missed that last year. So So.
Oh, they're definitely gonna be waiting for us. So the big deal is ticket sales. Tell us about where we are with ticket sales, what our plans are, what is it going to look like this year, what are we hoping to accomplish besides a sellout at the Freeman Auditorium?
Sure. Looking at the data from the games this past season and the seasons prior, every game or 7 or 8 games, but there's a good portion of fans that can only make 3 or 4, just because it's kind of overlaps summer and people are busy. So we're working on this year creating a season ticket subscription that is also based on 8 games, of course, but also 7, 6, 5, 4, so that people who want to take advantage of the season ticket benefits, have it paid out over time, but don't want to commit to all 8 games, they'll have something that they can grab onto for that. So we're excited about that.
I mean, I know that some professional teams have packages where it's 3 or 4, but I've never known a team that is doing a ticket package that's that customizable.
Yep. Basically, they can, once we get this ready, they can split the payments over 9 months and make it affordable, not have to pay it all at once. And I think it'll be appealing to those that don't necessarily want to step up and commit to all 8 games.
So we continue with the campaign of affordable family entertainment, safe entertainment, fun entertainment. You're not going to be embarrassed in front of your kids or any guests that you bring. If you're a business owner, look, you got to talk to Jen. You got to get involved in this. This is a great opportunity to host as a place. What has our experience been, or your experience been, with our corporate sponsors in the suites? They've been happy with what they've gotten, and
the renewal rate is higher than 90%. So yeah, no,
wow,
they love it.
That's good news.
They love it. They're the first to tell us, let's get going again next year. We're really happy with our growth this year already, and we've still got 5 months of selling, so we've got a lot of new partnerships building and bigger partnerships. So we're excited with that.
And that's the big deal. Obviously, what makes this go is the corporate sponsorship part. Absolutely. And you have a lot of that. And there's also a bit of a social side. What meetings do you get to go on the fun side? Because you have 2 jobs. Not only are you the club president and working on that side, you're also the IT director or
CTO.
Okay.
Chief Technology Officer for John Wayne.
For John Wayne Service Company, and that doesn't seem like there's a lot of overlap. How does that work?
Well, they're both demanding jobs, and I do my best to get them done. Back to the partnerships, we really need San Antonio to step up and partner with us. We're about wholesome family fun. We try to make it affordable. We're America first, very patriotic. We support the military. And we provide an awesome entertainment experience every game, and so we really need the city of San Antonio, in terms of businesses as well as fans, to step up and come and be a part, to be a part of what football used to be like, without all the stuff that goes on today that has turned off a lot of football fans. We're back to the basics, really honoring God, family, and football, and country. So. We'd love to have more companies be a part. Let us share the experience with their employees, get their employees to our games, and let's really have fun being patriotic and wholesome.
And I do have a marketing video, as it were, that was produced by our video production expert extraordinaire, Robert Seco. Probably will play that in just a bit. But tell us about the sponsorship experience. What can, if you get a suite or you create a section, how does John Wayne and the Gunslingers support that experience? How does that help a business market their identity in San Antonio?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, what we try to find out, what are the objectives that the potential partner wants to reach. If that's branding, if it's rewarding employees, if it's highlighting a specific product or model or something new that they're doing. You know, we want to get we want to get behind what they're trying to accomplish, and then we help. We can even, you know, we have established advertising methods, the commercials and the signage on the field and different things like that. But we can also be very creative with creating a promotion or something through our social media and on field during the game that really highlights what they want to focus on and gives them, you know, that their marketing dollars are being put to the best work possible. And it's not a one size fits all. You know, take it or leave it. It's we can get really creative, and Jen would sit down with them, walk through what they're trying to accomplish, and then come back with proposals that fit that and really accomplish those goals.
So what would be a success story or one of the more obvious adaptations that we've done, or the one something made you smile there? So what came to mind that you could share with our audience and potential sponsors, and what we've done for other sponsors?
Well, we've got, like with Complete Care, we have the Complete Care section that we, you know, every game we were able to put the cameras on the people that were in that section that game, and they provided swag and free merch, and it really drew attention to what Complete Care offers. You know, another example is the rodeo. We partnered with the rodeo this year, and we were able to create a lasso cam with the fans, to where they had to pretend that they were doing a lasso, and we had a digital lasso overlaid, and it was, you know, completely San Antonio Rodeo labeled. So, you know, we can spin up some stuff pretty quick and get really creative and make it a fun experience for our fans.
Because that would be one thing that, if you didn't know, John Wayne Service Company is the ownership, Don Rackler, the ownership of the San Antonio Gunslingers. And in San Antonio, John Wayne knows marketing. In this town, everyone knows who John Wayne is. Between all the trucks out in the fleet driving around, the presence on television, the presence on radio, the presence in sponsoring events in town, high school sports, among others. So it's not just a football team. You're actually, if you're investing in advertising with the Gunslingers, you're actually hiring an outfit that's not just a football team. We have a marketing arm.
Absolutely. And we've got multiple graphic designers. We've got videographer. We've got all the resources it takes to put together high quality, tangible media exposure throughout our season. And it can be anywhere from a $5,000 partnership up to, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on how big a potential partner wants to take it.
And of course, it's a question of the audience they want to reach, and Branded's going pretty much year round at this point.
Sure.
You surprised at that we have an audience? And actually, we have had an audience continuously here as we are approaching the third complete hour of the broadcast. I want to thank all of you that are watching out on our various outlets, Facebook, X, and YouTube. We have 44 distinct viewers on now. We've had nothing less than 29, actually 24, since we have been on air the whole time.
That's fantastic. Yep. That's awesome. I think no, it doesn't surprise me. I think you were asking me if I'm surprised. No, we grow each year. You know, it's just a natural result if you're doing the right things and you're focused on the right things, which in our case is the fan experience. That's the most important thing. Football's part of it. You know, game day, ticket sales and merch, but it all comes down to, does the fan leave the game with a satisfied entertainment experience? And that's what we're working very hard every game to provide, coming up with new things to introduce to elevate that. And our fans are number one. They're the number one priority for us.
And that has been the focus from the beginning. Going back to the beginning, when John Wayne was a lead sponsor of the Gunslingers when they came into the NAL in 2022, and there was a change in ownership. Don bought the team, and that just kind of fell in your lap because you were the guy that was trying to coordinate all of the above. What was that like, besides a constant running state of trying to keep the panic out of the eyes and keep that one going? Tell us everyone what that was like.
Well, my family and I were in Durango, Colorado on vacation, and on the way we were driving back, and I got a phone call, and I was told, hey, listen, you know, we're taking over the San Antonio Gunslingers, and we need you to do the run of show. And I'm like, and I was like, okay, so when's our first game that we have to be ready for? And they said 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay. So when I got back, I booked the flight to our next away game, which was in Jacksonville. Fortunately, the owner of Jacksonville and their equivalent at that time, the run of show guy, met with me, and they shared notes, and they, you know, walked me through some of the things live during the game. And I left with some information and an idea of what I needed to do. We came back and we started, you know, we basically at that point had a week to plan. And, you know, I worked till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning every night, getting all the graphics and Jumbotron stuff ready, and, you know, really just praying that we would get this all figured out in time. And we did, and it was the most amazing day. It was the biggest bunch of snafus and mess ups, and didn't tell people to be here when they needed to, and I'm just like, oh my God. But at the end, the fans had a great time, and that's all that matters. So we were, that was the messy first game, and then after that, it just got better and better and better. And so my team got better. We all just, you know, focused in on areas where we can improve, and we didn't look back, and here we are 3-4 years later, and we're very proud of what we've accomplished.
So it'd be safe to say that the Gunslingers were in that first year and still are a learning organization.
Oh, everybody is. You got to be. If you don't feel like you have nothing to learn, then you're going to get stale, and the people are going to get tired of what you're giving them.
What has been the most exciting? I mean, there's been a lot of really exciting innovations. Been the most exciting thing that you remember from the first 2 years plus of operations now? Something that you were most excited about, that, yeah, we made that happen?
I think last year's working with Dennis Hathaway and Clint George from the military side. They're the chair and co-chair of the Rodeo Military Affairs Committee, and they came on with us to do that for us. And they brought in, you know, the soldiers to rappel from the Jumbotron. You know, that was a really neat patriotic moment when those flags unfurled and those guys brought them down, and that was just hit you in the heart. And it's neat to be able to provide that experience not only to our fans but the military that were in attendance that night. So those are the kinds of things, and hearing, you know, stories of you know, just how people have had, you know, they're just touched by what we're doing, and it gives them great joy to be a part of what we're doing. So I love all that.
And then there was First Responders Night immediately after that, and
the fire truck. Yeah.
And I was really happy with how the first responders themselves felt they were actually recognized and seen. They weren't just props. It wasn't just a name. It was an experience where they were engaged and recognized. And did we not also have, I think we also had a rappel there as well from...
We did, yeah, with Border Patrol, I think.
Yeah, delivering the ball, and that was an exciting moment. And we will have more. Not quite sure what the wonders are in store this year. A lot of theme nights. April, unfortunately, is not able to make it because she's with the kids, and Jordan enjoying a vacation delayed by the hurricane, and it just so happened they could get to go.
Weekend, yeah.
And so they're out there with that. It seems like God is smiling on the Gunslingers. We have a wonderful, wonderful day of weather out here on the field as we go live to our field. Let my cameraman know. Oops, he's looking down at the ground, so we'll come back to us. Kevin's out there running around. He didn't know he was going to be the technical director and the roaming camera.
He's ready.
What has it
Looks
meant?
like he's ready now.
Yeah. What has it meant to have this facility? That was a big commitment by Don to say, okay, we're going to take this property from a place that he had ideas for and turn it into Gunslinger Nation, a location here that the fans can come out to. And there are fans here. We'll quickly flash to the fans sitting in front of us here, and then back to the field. That decision, how did that go, and the benefits that we've realized?
Well, it was a game changer once he decided to step up and devote this facility to the Gunslingers. Some challenges were involved. A lot of the space wasn't ready for that, but primarily the football field. If we took it out of circulation, then we had to get a new one, and it was kind of time. This field's been around. The practice field that we have today.
Oh, it's worn.
Had its history. It actually was Quad Cities.
Right.
So there was, taking on that, preparing that space for a football field so that it could deal with water, runoff, and whatnot. So Don had a lot of challenges to really get this done, but once we saw that it was going to happen, it was like everything changed in terms of, legitimacy, the ability to really recruit players based on the quality of the facility that they would be practicing on for 4 months out of the year, and it gave us all a place to come together. We were using different offices at John Wayne. Of course, we couldn't use the arena for football practice because it wasn't always set up, and we had to depend on a local high school, and it wasn't ideal. So now we have a space that's specifically suited for arena football program, front office, back office, and player side. So.
And we have a place for fans to come to, not only to buy tickets, buy merchandise. They're here looking at the facility, but the biggest impact you said was definitely on the player side. We talk over and over with the players. The chat around the league is, this is a premier facility to come to. There aren't a lot of these in minor league sports, and we are the only team that has an indoor field, as it were, out here. And the fact that everything is in one place, physical therapy, weight room, training room, lockers, showers, everything. This is the focus, and it definitely helps with recruiting and word of mouth amongst players.
Yep, for sure. I think there may be one other team that has more of a centralized thing like this, but I don't think they own it. I think it's more of something they're using with their arena. So this is quite unique, and when experienced players come here and see this, they're like, wow, this is the NFL of indoor in terms of the quality of the facility to work out and prepare in.
And that has been the objective all along. We're not here temporary. We're not here fly by night. We're not here to just appear. We're not here to fill out a schedule and be on somebody's schedule. We're here to be the premier indoor organization, and there's a lot of competition out there. Relatively new organization. It startles me when I think about the fact that this is about to be the third full year of operation. I mean, 22 being what it was.
The XFL, UFL?
Well, as far as for John Wayne and...
No, this is, 3 completed and going into our 4th.
Yeah. Right. This is it. And we're going and we're playing against teams that are synonymous with indoor football, whether it's the Rattlers, whether it's the Barnstormers, whether it's the Sharks. We are stepping on the field toe-to-toe with them. And
very storied franchises that have been around for more than 10 years.
And we're doing all the things that they're doing.
They were fearful when we were coming to town this past year. So that's a great sign on our part to be prepared and to so quickly be ramped up to compete at that level.
And that was all part of the commitment by Don and yourself to, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. We're not going to do this halfway. We are coming here to play. We are coming here not just to play. We're coming here to win.
That's right.
And that's what we're looking for, every season and this season as well. I like our prospects this year because last year we were working on a lot of assumptions. Being new to the IFL, and now those assumptions have all been replaced by facts.
There was a learning curve. I mean, there's a lot of rules differences from the NAL to the IFL, and that's always a learning curve. But we got through that, and the league I think is working on simplifying some of those confusing rules so that the officials, as well as the coaches, as well as the players, as well as the fans, can get a better idea of what's going on during a game and not be, why did they do that? It'll make more sense. So hopefully that'll come to pass before the season begins. And we're looking at better officiating this year. We've already been some changes have been made by the league to address issues that we had in this last season. So I think
any specific you want to comment on, because I haven't heard anything officially yet So I'm not sure you can say anything because it's not
Yeah,
official and it's kind of the league's
I
responsibility.
think in general, just to play it safe, I'm just going to say that we definitely are getting a better lead or a specific lead ref, a white hat, at every game that'll be at every game, and he's high quality. And with him comes a really good umpire, and so we're going to see a totally different officiating than we did last year.
And that's going to make a big difference. That's one of the things that obviously stuck in your craw and definitely sticks
absolutely.
in Coach's craw.
Very frustrating.
That
Could have made it. It could very well have had a different outcome on several games because of the officiating. So that's being addressed, and it wasn't just us. They weren't picking on us. It was about a fourth of the league dealt with that, just because of getting personnel to fill that role as officiating. And so they've been working in this offseason to not only address the less quality areas of it, but bring in even more high quality refs. And it's one thing to be a great outdoor officiation, but the indoor, you got to be able to do that too. So they're looking at that really closely.
Want to do a hat tip here to Tom Falcinelli, the head of officiating for the IFL. Has been working throughout the offseason to make all of this happen, and he's a guy that I'm sure you've had conversations with as well.
Particularly, yep. Yeah, thank you, Tom, and thank you, Todd, the commissioner, for and the other teams. I mean, it's a group effort. We're all, when I attend team meetings with the other owners, there really is a camaraderie. Yes, when we get on the field, we want to beat the snot out of each other, but away from the field, we're all about all of us succeeding and the league as a whole prospering and rising to the level of professional indoor football that we all want it to be.
Well, one of my sayings is teams compete, but organizations cooperate if the league is going to succeed. What is that like, going to these owner meetings, being in the room with all of these other people? What is that culture like? I mean, because our fans, well, that's something you're probably never personally going to experience, folks. What is that like?
It's a lot of camaraderie, a lot of respect. We're all gutting it out and trying to figure out how to get tickets sold and fill the seats and keep our players at optimum levels, but keep the costs down, and we all share the same burdens. So when we joined the IFL, I had many owners come to me and say, hey, you need to know anything, let me know. And I've reached out. Our season ticket idea came from Tulsa, and Taylor, with running their program, was an open book about how he's doing it, and very helpful. So I've appreciated it really is all of the owners really wanting to come together and succeed as a league.
So it's sort of a co-op of ideas?
Can be.
Have we been able to share anything that we've done that has anyone asked us for any advice? I know we're kind of the new kids. I don't know why they would, but
being the new kid, I just listened. I'm not there to teach anybody anything. I was there to learn and glean what I could and bring it back. And as the years go on and new teams join, I'll definitely be available to help in that way.
And we learn more by listening anyway. Anything else? Any shout outs you want to make?
What was your favorite part of the season last year?
Favorite part of the season would have to be, even though we didn't win the last game, is when we had the biggest crowd we had of the year. Hearing that crowd over the PA, hearing that crowd respond, and we'd gone through the season and everything. We were just everything just kept getting better week after week after week throughout the home games. It didn't end the way we wanted. The season didn't end the way we wanted, but that was a real positive note. And I'm hoping that as an organization, we're going to be able to wrap that around and bring that right back as we open up we got moved to, this was a selection. We got chosen to be one of the 6 teams that plays on opening week for the IFL. And that had to be a reflection of what they saw. And that we're going to be able to do that again, and it's going to be a fan appreciation night. That's our first theme for our first night. And so I was excited for that. It was great to see the crowd there. It was great to hear the crowd. It was great to feel the energy as we faced the team that eventually won the championship with the Arizona Rattlers. It was a big game. we didn't come away with a win, but there was a win in the audience that we had and what we showed the rest of the league.
Yeah, I agree. Good answer. Yeah, that was a great game, and it was awesome to feel the energy of that crowd. And it's our goal that we have that many or more at every game this next season. So.
Well, a final word on tickets. So anyone watching, looking to get tickets, because hey, it's the holiday season coming up, Christmas is coming up, and why just get a gift that gets used up or put on a shelf? We humbly recommend season tickets to the Gunslingers. Make family memories. Bring a friend. Bring an enemy. Just bring somebody. Come on out to the game. How can they go about getting involved today?
So if you go to our website, under the tickets column, there's season tickets. Go onto that page, fill out the form, and in the comments, kind of give us an idea what you're trying to do, whether it's a gift pack for a family member. If you're interested in those less than 8 game packages, just indicate that on there, and we'll call you in the week or two ahead. We got Thanksgiving next week, so may not get to you next week, but just go ahead and fill it out, and we'll come around to you in the next week or so, and we'll talk to you about how it works and get you set up. Also, if anyone out there is listening that wants to become a corporate partner or wants to investigate that further, under the partners pull-down menu, we have a page to submit interest in that. So, yeah, we'd love to connect and see what we can do to get everybody connected for next year.
And it's fully customizable, as you said. What is your need, your level of interest? Dip your toe in the water next year, come back.
And when you buy season tickets, you're saving a lot of money off of the fees that Ticketmaster would charge by buying individual single game tickets on their website.
I hate to even mention their name.
And you get a little discount for the season ticket too. So you save quite a bit of money doing it. So highly recommended.
So go on the website, let us know what you're interested, corporate partners, season tickets, get in the game. Hey folks, if you're in the area, we still have couple more hours here for the tryouts as they are proceeding apace out on the field. And we will thank James Stubing for his time here in the booth as a major sponsor, well, backer of Branded, if not an outright sponsor. Thank you much for being on, boss. And
thank you for having me.
We'll have more time later. We'll take a break here and on to our next as we are continuing with Branded. The tryout episode. We'll be back in just a moment.
Dependability. It's expected by our customers, and it's demanded by me. I personally guarantee the certified techs we send to your home and the equipment we install are dependable. John Wayne's American Pride comfort systems are designed specifically for San Antonio's extreme heat and humidity and come with a lifetime warranty. Right now, get a complete new system with affordable monthly payments from $72, plus get no interest and no payments for 12 months. For comfort you can depend on, call John Wayne today.
And welcome back to the tryout show here. I'm going to talk about week 5 and week 6. And I have these two grouped together for a reason. As slipping into the seat here, who is joining me now from the Poteet Strawberry Festival?
Yes, I am Bobby Martinez with the Poteet Strawberry Festival, and we've been here for a few hours enjoying the tryouts and just absorbing it all in. And
we missed you a few moments ago, but we saw the mascot from the Poteet Strawberry Festival. Why is it we never see the two of you in the same place at the same time?
I guess because we have two different schedules.
But
yes, he was out mingling.
That's it.
And taking advantage of all the mini photo ops that were being offered, and got to get close to the field. And he was over there. Also, I saw him over there at the Hummer. Talked about the podcast.
And strawberries grow best in the sunshine, and it's a great sunshiny day.
It's a great sunshiny day, yes.
Well, for those that don't know, how long has the Poteet Strawberry Festival been going?
This coming year, in 2025, will be 78 years.
Wow.
78 years, yeah.
That's got to be up there as one of the longest running ag festivals in the greater San Antonio area, if it is not the longest running one.
I'm thinking the longest. In fact, it is the largest agriculturally based festival in the state. Yeah, we are officially the strawberry capital of Texas.
Well, absolutely. And I love strawberries. They were, if you came out here, folks, you could have gotten one of these.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Poteet strawberry preserves made especially for the Strawberry Festival. And I love the ingredient list. It's not just strawberries, it's Poteet strawberries.
Yes, mix it a little
sugar
sweeter.
and pectin. This is all you need. I mean, that's Grandma's preserve recipe right there.
That's it. And there's actually another one that's also made that has jalapenos in there, so the ingredients just add that.
Oh wow, that's South Texas
other
right
thing.
there.
A little sweet heat. So we'd like to invite everyone to come out April 11th, 12th, and 13th for the in 2025 for the 78th annual.
As we continue with the Strawberry Festival, how did the Poteet Strawberry Festival come to be here today at Gunslinger Nation? What's your involvement with the team?
Well, I was talking with Freckles, our mascot, and he actually is a fan of the Gunslingers.
Freckles. Okay.
Yes. So he wanted to come out and just see firsthand what everyone has to go through to be a player and how that all works.
So came to see how a gunslinger is made, because we not everyone knows how strawberries are made, because it's not just, okay, we plant in the ground, they grow. What are some of the secrets to award-winning strawberries?
Good question. They're actually planted in September and October, and they're planted as a root plant, and they're taken care of, they're loved and fertilized and watered. They try to get them big enough to withstand all of the freezing cold that we may or may not get.
Which is why we love South Texas. It doesn't freeze that often.
Exactly. In fact, with this great weather we've been having, cold nights and warm days. One of our strawberry growers is already producing a few strawberries, so he may have a few, like maybe a flat or two for Christmas.
Oh, that sounds
It's amazing.
great.
It's amazing.
That sounds great, and strawberries always come in Christmas colors.
They do, and I've had people tell me that they like strawberries, but then when they try ours, because they're higher in sugar content, they say, I thought I liked strawberries, and now those that I find at the store or other places that aren't Poteet, I don't like those, and they just don't compare.
No, once you've had the best, strawberries from anywhere else, but straight off the farm, straight off the flat, straight off the farmer's market, that is the best way to go. And here in South Texas and Texas wide, Poteet strawberries. Now, where are strawberries shipped to? I mean, I imagine that there's a demand worldwide for strawberries.
Yeah, for us, they're picked at about 90% done, so you're very limited on how far you can go. We do have some distributors that will come in and they will drive them to Austin and Dallas and Fort Worth to sell them during that week. We don't like to have them on the shelf for too long because they are vine ripened and they don't have a really long shelf life. So
strawberries not likely to rack up a lot of frequent flyer miles then?
Not really. And they're kind of finicky. A lot of people think that they're easy to grow, and they're really tough to grow.
Well, let's talk about that from an ag perspective. What are the enemies, as it were, predators, as it were, of Freckles and his family?
Deer love strawberry plants, and
they don't just eat the fruit.
They eat the leaves. They'll eat it down to where you're next to nothing, and after you've nurtured it through the winter,
that's got to be frustrating.
Through the winter, deer come along and go, "Oh, a nice, tasty treat," and there goes the plants.
And they like the high sugar content too.
Yes, and what really can be a game changer is when we have a late frost. When we have a frost hit, it kills those flowers, and you have to start from scratch. That flower has to die off and then produce another flower, and that's usually up to 21 days later. So we always pray for a no late frost before our strawberry festival, because all the strawberries on the grounds during the festival are from Poteet. We verify, and we know all of the growers. It's a pretty close-knit family. So if someone were to try to come in and pawn berries off that they brought in from somewhere else, they would be found out.
And that's interesting. I didn't know you could do that. Is it like do you do some kind of DNA testing?
It's the family. We pay attention to who's selling to whom. Our growers, because they talk to each other, they'll say, I didn't supply any berries to this person or that person. So it's pretty close knit.
So provenance matters when it comes to strawberries. Where you get them from and who you buy them from. It's not anonymous. It is a name-to-name kind of thing.
It really is, and we have a few growers that have been multi-generational growers. There's one that I believe he's up to the 5th generation, where his children are now doing, and he was 3rd generation. And I remember when this one grower's father passed away, on the inside of his casket was a strawberry field, and I thought that was pretty apropos.
Oh. Well, when you devote your life to producing strawberries, you'd like to have your ride to the afterlife commemorate what you did in life.
Exactly. And if you want to pick your own strawberries, of course, we're talking about March and April. StrawberryFestival.com is our website. On the bottom is a growers list, and there's a number of growers that actually allow you to come into their fields and pick, so you will be able to get the freshest strawberries you'll ever get.
Wow.
And some don't because they think, well, I don't want the general public that are uninformed
traipsing around,
stepping on my plants.
Right, right.
But there's many that say, look, just stay on a row and keep walking. And it is a labor of love. The Strawberry Festival has actually gone in and bought a tractor and bought equipment to lay the plastic down and to make the mold the dirt and to make it ready for the growers to come in. And all they have to do, they come in.
And ag, there's no all.
There's no all. They come in with a sharp stick and they poke through the plastic, and then they plant the root plant, and they plant them about a foot apart. So when someone comes in and says, I want to plant 4,000 plants, that's 4,000 feet of rows that has to be put in. Some double plant, so you're looking at 2,000 feet. So you've got a hands-on experience right there. You're bent over and you're pushing through the plastic.
So this is actually all manual. I was going to ask, how are strawberries harvested? Because obviously it's a very tender fruit. You don't want to bruise it in the process of harvesting. I'm not sure, is there a machine that does that? Or is this all, you go out there and you are picking them off of the plant itself?
There's no machine that actually picks. I've seen a machine that actually is like a little sled where the person that's harvesting sits in a little seat and he's drug or she's drugged through the field and they're picking as they go. They don't all ripen at the same time. Some fruits that ripen all at the same time.
So you'll have actual several harvests. It won't just be one. You'll go through. And how many weeks are you harvesting over? How many passes generally does it take?
Well, usually they produce about a half a pound per plant, but sometimes you skip a couple of plants. So by the time you get them all picked out, so to speak, it will be about the first week of June whenever we get all that heat coming in. And they will continue to produce until they burn out. Here in Texas, the plastic gets a little hot, so they tend to get burned up. A lot of time you have, about 3 months of slow production because you can't pick every day. You're not able to.
Right, there's not enough ripe, ready berries.
Right.
How do you judge that?
Good one. Good question.
Yeah, it's like, how do you judge
Good
it?
question.
Because it's like, I don't want this one, I'll take that one. How do you
that's,
pick?
That's exactly what you have to do. You got to look at this plant and go, okay, which one is the most ripe? And then most of the people that are harvesting will use their thumbnail to cut the, or like pinch the stem, and some will kind of twist and pull. So they're picking maybe one from this plant, and a couple of plants later they'll grab another one from another plant, and so on and so on, because they're not all at the same time. And there's some days that there are not enough produced because they're just not quite ready. We do have one grower that buys a lot of plants, so he can almost pick every day, but there's some days he's very, very limited on the amount that is produced.
Well, this is interesting because you have an extended period of production. It's not like you're going through and you're just going to cut,
Right.
and take what you need to. You have to go through, and that makes strawberries a lot, well, it's fascinating because every strawberry that goes into the flat has been selected to go into that flat on that day by that farmer.
Right.
And so it takes an eye, and the better the eye, the better the judge, the faster they can go through and harvest. So now I can see why you'd want to be very cautious who you let out into your fields, because they may be over harvesting or just, oh, I see something, it looks red, I'll take it.
That happens. That does happen. Well, someone will grab one that is barely turning pink, and it needed, another week pretty much to finish. And
it won't get any riper because it's separated from the plant, so there's no more sugar that's going to be stored in that.
Exactly, and that's
it's not
the
like a
beautiful
banana.
part with exactly like a banana or some of the other fruits. And most people don't know that a strawberry is actually a fruit. It's not a vegetable, and
Right.
it's the only fruit with a seed on the outside.
Right.
So those you can grow another strawberry from a seed, but you have to have patience and time on your hands. It will take a long time.
So you can't just go around and plant a strawberry in the ground and say, oh, there's going to be a plant there.
Exactly, like a potato. And there were some that actually got out of the strawberry business because they said, I have to plant in September and October, and I can't get a recoup on some of my investment until March.
Right.
So that's when they really pretty much get into the production is with the warmth. And so they say I could plant a bell pepper, and in 45 days I can start selling.
Right.
Well, can't with strawberry.
So it's a longer growth. Is the margin on strawberries better? Or is it, like you said, it's all a labor of love?
It's a labor of love because when you're thinking about it, you're having to water them and fertilize them from September, October, and not have any income or until March. So yes, it is. And most of the growers do not use anything that costs them too much money. So I know there's a lot of places that would use pesticides and stuff like that, and that costs money. So it's very, very limited on what they use.
So a lot of strawberries are easy to certify as organic. As we go to the field, our kickers are trying out. Just going out to my roaming cameras. There's I think one or two kickers trying out here. But just watch that while we're talking.
Yeah, to me that's a good position because you just you go in and do your job, and then you can sit back and and wait for,
that might be true in the outdoor game, but in the indoor game, there's only 8 guys out on the field, and the kickers that I know that are actually good at this are actually not afraid to get into it and tackle. We've had some pretty amazing kickers in this organization. We had a hockey player, Drew Pearson, and Drew tackled so hard he got himself concussed in a game.
Oh.
He was not afraid to throw his body into action. And our kicker from last year, T.C. Stevens, the same way. And that one looks like it's good. It's very high. And they up to the ceiling. It looks like the tryouts have broken up here as they're heading over to the stands. Yeah, for lunch. This is one of the coolest parts of this is most tryouts. Yeah, they don't feed you. They'll give you a shirt in a moment, and that's it.
You're done. I'm glad they didn't parked vehicles too close to the field goal area over there behind the uprights, because I could see some of those would have.
They had some distance.
Way off into the parking lot.
Well, you got kickers with great legs in this game. It's only a 50-yard field, but there is no punting in this game, so it's a field goal from anywhere is the possibility.
Love it.
Anybody you'd like to make a shout out to before you get up and head out?
Who would I like to shout out to?
Well, mention the dates again of the Strawberry Festival, and if you wanted to be a sponsor of the Strawberry Festival, how you'd get involved.
Well, you can call our office, 830-276-3323. We do have a marketing person that actually is around here somewhere. Jen is our marketing person, and she can work something up for you. The dates are April 11, 12, 13, and we are a nonprofit, so we rely on our sponsors. Our food vendors are nonprofits, so I just want everybody to know. So it's not going to be
when you go to the Strawberry Festival, you're supporting other nonprofits and other causes. So the Strawberry Festival becomes a nexus of nonprofit organizations, and it's a nonprofit meet, great family event for that reason, because you're helping causes while you're at an event supporting strawberries in South Texas in Poteet.
Absolutely. We give away a lot of scholarships. We put a lot of kids through through college, and we have had some to go into medical school, go into law school. So it's something that we have a passion for, because it's all about the kids and our next generation and doing things for the world, making the world a better place.
Well, this has been our time with Bobby Martinez. Thank you very much for coming on Branded. And hopefully we'll see Freckles around here at some point. And if you don't see Freckles around here, it's because he's out making good things grow for strawberries at the Poteet Strawberry Festival. And it's a year-round thing. Thanks again so much, Bobby, for being on.
I'm going to get some strawberry jam.
Oh, yeah, definitely get yourself some strawberry jam. Now, before we break into the third quarter, continuing the preview of the season for the Gunslingers. Week 5 and Week 6 is two teams. We're playing two games. That's back-to-back for us with a bye week in between. Two-game series for the Gunslingers, back-to-back affair. What follows after is a 7-game stretch for the Gunslingers with a game a week. It all starts when the Vegas Nighthawks make their first trip to San Antonio on Fiesta Night. Vegas caught many teams by surprise in 2024 after finishing 2023 with a record of 5-10. They won their first 7 straight games. So we go to our roaming camera here and went on to become the Western Conference runner-up at 11-5, or 11-6 rather. Last year's 66-44 loss to the Nighthawks in Henderson, Nevada was a critical moment of 2024 for the Gunslingers. That loss was third in a row in their first season in the IFL. Turned out to be the biggest margin of defeat suffered by the Gunslingers in 2024. Coach Menas summarized that game by saying, "We played badly." He got home and made wholesale changes to the team, releasing a majority of the defense, and went on to win 8 of the remaining 13 games. The Nighthawks will arrive in San Antonio coming off a bye week. Between these two games, they host Northern Arizona, while San Antonio is resting. Mike Davis and Tom Menas may be on friendly terms with each other, but that just means they'll want to compete hard with each other to keep the conversation lively for the rest of the year. Now joining me on the hot seat is none other than Gabe Munguia of Outback De Zavala location. Gabe, welcome to Branded.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Are you having fun here at the tryouts?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Glad we had good weather. Seems like everything's going really swell.
And now we're going to, actually, the players are going to be rotating through for lunch. What did you bring for them today?
Ooh, today we got some grilled chicken on the Barbie with some green beans, and then, of course, courtesy of Jen Bonomo, she loves that butter cake, so we brought some butter cake as well.
Oh, great. I can see players coming out, and they are sipping on drinks and carrying their takeaway meals. Some are looking a little sore. What did you see out there on the tryout field?
Ooh, unfortunately I got here maybe about 20 minutes or so, but I was listening to the stream throughout us making these meals.
Oh,
and
thank you
heading
so
on out
much.
here, yeah.
Hopefully,
Love to support
hopefully it was interesting to listen to, talking to sponsors, players.
It was
and
great. I came in about halfway through last season, and really Outback, our principles and beliefs and morals are really centered around family. So being able to get involved in this family here with the Gunslingers has been awesome so far.
So tell us a bit more about that alignment for you personally. Now, you are the owner of the location, owner of the franchisee at the location?
So we are corporate based.
Okay.
We're called managing partners. So
All right.
really, the intention is to invest as much as we can into our location and try and build ourselves and our footprint in the community. We do have 4 locations here in San Antonio. I represent the De Zavala location. But yeah, just being able to align ourselves with organizations like the Gunslingers. We also do some work with the missions, really that are centered around family, and being able to provide for one another is something that we really strive for.
And so that's really an alignment issue. It's obviously a core philosophy for yourself, for Outback, and for the Gunslingers. How did you hear about the Gunslingers and get involved with the?
Oh man, really honestly, Jen brought me into the loop. I've been working with her for quite some time, helping me get acclimated to the footprint. I'm local to Converse, however, working over in the De Zavala area, trying to get
Yeah,
more.
me too, also in Converse.
Really
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, we built our house out there about 3 years ago. But yeah, Jen brought us into the loop and has really kind of been showing me the ropes so far. But it's been great. It's been great.
And now we're here. What are you looking to do this year? I mean, obviously we have the banner out on the wall. What other presence will we see at Gunslinger games or with Gunslinger events here in the off season and as we pick things up in season?
Yeah, so we'll be providing lunch every Tuesday, I believe.
Oh, and that's huge.
For the gentlemen here, yeah, making sure they're nice and fed and getting ready to go for each game. And then we'll also have some field presence during the home games as well.
What's that going to look like?
I'm assuming after I talk to Jen, probably escorting team members out, things of that nature. Just really trying to get it as involved as possible. And bringing my staff into the mix as well.
Any of the partners going to be involved? Employees, partners, servers?
We're hoping so. Really, it's going to be my staff initially
Right.
to try and create that footprint, and then we'll try and bring these other locations into the mix as well. So
De Zavala's a busy location out there off of the 10.
It is. We have a great party room out there. During these holiday seasons, we really try and partner with local, community events, Christmas parties, things of that nature. Trying to make the best impression possible that we can on the local community and really create those relationships. And it's been working out well. We just opened up a location out there in the city base area, led by Michael McClelland. So that's really exciting for us. We also have the location out at Ingram, and then the location in Selma, the Forum out there.
Yes, I've been obviously close to Converse. That's a location in the Forum, but I love the De Zavala store, the De Zavala location. Nice conference room in the back. We had Branded out there for an episode. Staff was extremely helpful getting me set up because I'd never been there before. It's like they made it all happen, and we had the show, and everyone was friendly and keeping the Outback vibe going.
Yeah, we look forward to having you out there more often. Obviously, I think we can definitely make that work.
Well, Jen will tell me I go where Jen says to go. That's pretty much how this works. Yes, secretly she's the one pulling the strings behind the scene, and we all just dance to Jen's tune.
Yep, this is the truth. But yeah, we got some. Other than that, to recap, we have some great deals coming out, especially this holiday season. So we have an excellent 18-ounce bone-in ribeye with a bacon bourbon oven topping. We're also doing dedicated menus for certain situations, depending on what it is that y'all are looking for. May it be price point, may it be ambiance, or anything of the such. And really just trying to be as flexible as possible throughout this holiday season to make the best experience for anybody who's looking to come out.
And it's not just in-store. Outback also does catering. Well, obviously you're doing catering here. Yes. What other offerings do you have, or is it just all customizable depending on the need of the client?
It is all customizable. We do have a dedicated menu online that's going to show you bundles for catering, as well as something really specific to the office space. So we set it up for you, make sure it's all hot and ready, do some decorations if need be. But really just trying to create that repeat business and make sure that we take it, essentially you make the order and we just take it from there. Make sure that we're able to set it all up and have a fantastic experience.
And that sounds like a lot of fun. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on the broadcast, as we are coast to coast nationwide and some other time zones out of the country?
Oh yeah, of course. Obviously, shout out to Jen. She's the one that really brought us in here and helped us become a part of this Gunslinger family. And then the other managing partners in town, we have Michael McLeland, we have Alexander Vivian, and then we have Morgan Wallen. So all those are great leaders in the market, really trying to come together and perform as best we can for our community.
Well, fantastic. Thank you very much, Gabe, for being on Outback Steakhouse location. Days of Allah, the holidays are here. That would be summertime in Australia because of the flip over the continent, as it were, a flip over the hemisphere. And for catering needs, for casual dining, bring the family. It's a great location. They're aligned with the Gunslingers. They're aligned with your family values. Days of Allah location, Outback Steakhouse. Thank you very much for being on the show. That'll take us to the end of the third quarter. We'll be back with more Branded when we return live from Gunslinger Nation.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
What can I say? Comes with the job. 1 minute I'm making a one-hand catch on the sideline. Next minute it's lights out and I'm on the sideline. And that's why I like Complete Care, because they're fast, just like me. They have ultrasound, CAT scan, X-ray, and even on-site lab. So if you get sidelined, know where to go. Complete Care. Official sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
And welcome back to Branded as we bring to the hot seat 2023 captain, 2024 captain, DJ Myers.
What's up, man? How you doing, Ralph?
I was hoping for a lot more applause as we called you in.
I'll applaud myself.
We have to make our own. So, yeah, the non-season, postseason, wraparound season, out of season is rolling by very, very rapidly. And I got early word that there are going to be some signings from this tryout. What did you see out there? You were out there the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. I always like to go out here during the tryouts and teach these or try to show these receivers how to run arena football routes.
Because it's different.
It's different. You got to understand, a lot of these guys come out here and they try to run outdoor routes. We're all outdoor football players, but what you got to understand is that you got to hone in on your skill set and play a new game. It's football, but it's a new game. So I put my shoes on today, and I went out there when we were doing routes on air and doing all of that stuff, and I wanted to show them this is how we run these routes. If you're trying to earn a contract today in this room specifically, you got to run them like this or close to this, you know. So that was fun to go out there and move around a little bit. I was getting goosebumps out here. Jonathan Bain is out here. This is like my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He threw me a couple passes, and I'm like having flashbacks of 2021 when we played together in Carolina. So it is just amazing to have his energy out here, Coach Fuller's energy out here, Coach Manas's energy out here. And seriously, like, I'm ready to play right now. If you told me we were playing tomorrow and Sunday, I would literally be ready. My locker's right, literally 25 feet away from me, so we can suit up if you all want. But it's been exciting. Seriously, the energy's just flowing out here. I'm so excited for the season. So
yeah, brother's checking in. He said guns up earlier, and of course, mom's always going to be checking. And she's been watching the entire stream, 3 hours, 33 minutes, and counting here.
Yeah.
Saying that she's in, and now for the first time, ever, she is going to be able to say she has one team to be watching and following, and she doesn't have to worry about whether there'll be two streams playing simultaneously. This is the first time professionally y'all have been on the same roster, correct?
That is correct.
But it's a lifetime of playing football.
It is a lifetime of playing football. I mean, we live a football life. I mean, I remember there's a show on NFL Network a long time ago called A Football Life. And I always respond to like my life and my brother's life and my family. We are a football life, you know, so everything that we do just revolves around the game. And, you know, I'm 4 years older than my brother, so we've never played together. But I've been a part of his journey his entire career. He's been a part of my journey entire career. We've been there for each other, had those conversations through what he was going through, what I was going through. And even though we've been on different journeys, they've also really been similar. We came out the same high school. We both went to junior college. We both went Division II. We both got our shot to go arena and then eventually to the UFL. So it's just an amazing story, especially since 2 years ago, me and him were both signed to the UFL in Memphis together. And he ended up not making it to camp, and I did.
I want to get guys on camera signing their contracts.
Right.
I'm getting kicked off already. See,
all right, it's like you just get here. It's like,
I told
wow.
Coach he gets a whole bunch of new shiny new toys, and he has no use for me.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
we're gonna see about that.
Yeah, you wanted to. I can't believe how fast today has flown by. We started at 8:30 this morning, still running. I could probably go for another 2-3 hours. Like you're ready to go play. I'm ready to call a game.
When I get out of here, I'm gonna have Bain throw me a couple more passes. I'm not even done yet.
Yeah, we didn't even get Jonathan Bain on the show. So it's been that busy. Well, any additional shout outs before we Cindy Dole saying that's my nephew
because Coach Manas doesn't love me anymore.
Coach has said. Coach says Cindy Dole saying that's my nephew.
Yep, I got my whole family on here. Shout out my family, Mama, Guy, on Cindy, all my people, Sabina back home, all my loves, everybody that supports me. I appreciate you guys. It's going to be a huge year for us, and we're just so excited for our family and for the Gunslinger family. And let's get after it. Y'all know me, number 15. You know where to find me on game day.
And we're going to have, we're bringing back the receiving core. We have experience. We're ready to go. Coach is really, really wanting me to push you off stage. Yep. We'll be back here in just a bit. You are watching Branded, the fourth quarter. We'll be back in just a moment.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. Right now, get a complete new system with affordable monthly payments from $72, plus get no interest and no payments for 12 months. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
And we are back with Branded. And
why are we back so fast?
Well, because it was only 30 seconds.
Well, we can take another one real quick.
All right.
So I can get some guys over here.
Okay. We'll punch the break again then, and we'll head into that because Coach said so. Yep. Just a quick comment, Coach. How did it go?
It went well. We'll talk about it after we get this done.
All right.
It's the high school football season, the most exciting time of the year.
That's right, Greg, and John Wayne Service Company is in on the action with Texas Sports Productions.
Watch and listen to the hundreds of games this season on the all-new TSP app, and vote for the John Wayne Player of the Game during the games and the John Wayne Player of the Week beginning on Sundays during the season.
Go to johnwayne.com to vote and be automatically entered to win a $10,000 home makeover.
Get in the game today with TSP
and John Wayne Service Company.
team, huddle up. Just like in surgery, we need precision and teamwork. Trust me, just like on the field, if we stick to the playbook, we'll achieve excellence.
Coach, are you sure about this?
We've trained for this. We're experts. The San Antonio Gunslingers in South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where precision meets performance.
Dependability. It's expected by our customers, and it's demanded by me. I personally guarantee the certified techs we send to your home and the equipment we install are dependable. John Wayne's American Pride comfort systems are designed specifically for San Antonio's extreme heat and humidity and come with a lifetime warranty. For comfort you can depend on, call John Wayne today.
John Wayne Service Company is a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Gunslingers.
It's like literally like hockey and football had a baby.
Type of action you'll never see in the NFL.
Let's go Gunslingers, let's go baby! Woo!
That's the best entertainment there is. Once you've been to a game, you're gonna get hooked.
And welcome back to Branded, and a very, very special day for a very, very special young man. Go ahead and tell us about yourself.
My name is Jaden Jackson. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I play for the University of Virginia Lynchburg. The position I play is really an athlete. Wherever the coach needs me to be, I'll work my hardest to do. What brought me to San Antonio is new beginnings and to further my talent and to reach my destiny. I believe in not quitting. I came out here and just let it all out. And yeah, I'm excited, man, for the future. I thank Coach for the opportunity.
Yeah, it was great seeing you out there. You stood out from the crowd, and that's exactly what we talk about, when taking advantage of your opportunity. We had you playing multiple positions today, but athletically you shined, and we're going to be offering you a contract and at this point, and so this will get you your invite to camp, and if you will print your name there, sign there,
yes, sir.
And then we own you.
Yes, sir. There we go.
Perfect. Thank you, buddy.
Jaden Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, your newest gunslinger.
Let's go.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. We'll see you in March.
See you in March.
All right, stay seated. We're gonna go ahead and take a break, and then we'll bring on the next victim.
Okay.
Victim.
We'll be
back.
back.
You didn't read your contract. Good. Thank you.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. Right now, get a complete new system with affordable monthly payments from $72, plus get no interest and no payments for 12 months. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
Come on, here we go.
And we are back with our next signee.
Okay, so what we're doing is tell everybody who you are, and you're gonna probably have to move up a little bit. Sorry.
That's all good.
Step up to the microphone, as they say.
Okay.
Go ahead and give us your bio.
My name is Blair Zepeda. I am from Dallas, Texas. Went to school at Abilene Christian and then finished my time playing football in college at Texas A&M University and finishing my master's there right now.
And you're a kicker.
Yes, sir.
He's the one, if you were watching, that was booming probably 70, 80-yard shots. So
Yeah, I saw those. It's like it's only a 50-yard
again,
field.
we're looking, again, taking advantage of an opportunity. Yes, we have, I'm looking forward to camp and seeing now that he's had his first taste of those narrow goalposts, and he'll figure it out as we get closer. But it's great to have you on, and what we're going to do now is we're going to ink a deal that'll get you here to camp. And if you will print your name on top and sign there. Sorry, I'll get you all situated. There you go.
Thank you.
I was teasing him. He has a Texas stash going, so fits right in. So Blair's new nickname is Boomer, everybody. Yeah. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Boomer Zepeda, your newest San Antonio gunslinger.
Am I good?
You're good.
Awesome.
Can we get another 30 seconds, Ralph, please?
Sure. Why not?
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. Right now, get a complete new system with affordable monthly payments from $72, plus get no interest and no payments for 12 months. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
They expect it.
And welcome back again to overtime and the signing here. The combine we wrapped up the combine and Coach has his picks here at the table. Who we got now, Coach?
Yes, sir. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the fans know who you are.
Bailey Edwards from Albion College. Wide receiver.
Now, if you guys recognize the name Bailey Edwards, why don't you tell us about your family a little bit, Bailey?
Yeah, come from a lineage of football players. My dad, Stanley Edwards, he played at Michigan, did 6 years in the NFL, 5 with the Oilers, 1 with the Lions. My brother, Braylon Edwards, also played at Michigan and played 10 years in the NFL, 3rd overall pick at wide receiver.
Yeah, it's funny because we were laughing about it. We've been trying to get, Stan and I have tried to get him here for the first year. Now we shot for the second year. And like we said, when you see a guy in the field that stands out like that, they're special. They're just special. And he stood above the crowd and what he could do. And we're excited. And when you have first team all league receivers on your team that are here, the DJ Myers and all them, and they turn around and they say, wow, we really think he's special, and that's a very tight room for them to be saying that, him and Kali and those guys. So we're lucky to have them. You ready to ink this thing? It's been a long time coming, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you'll print your name there and sign there, you will be legal. Perfect, and I'll sign it to make sure that you can't get out of it.
Bailey Edwards, the newest San Antonio gunslinger.
There you go. All right. Come on, Ralph, break it.
All right, well, we'll bump another one here. Which one I want to run?
I think we have one more.
Oh, so there's 4 signings.
There's 4 signings. Who did we get? Who are we missing? Who are we missing? We're missing somebody.
Well, we'll take a break here and come back and figure that one out. You're watching Branded live from Gunslinger Nation.
Come on in, Sam.
All right, team, huddle up. Just like in surgery, we need precision and teamwork. Trust me, just like on the field, if we stick to the playbook, we'll achieve excellence.
Coach, are you sure about this?
We've trained for this. We're experts. The San Antonio Gunslingers and South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Outpatient Center, where precision meets performance.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah. This is a big deal.
And welcome back to Branded, live from Gunslinger Nation. I was told there were 3, but now there are 4.
You were told there were 4.
I was told a lot of things.
Okay. So yeah, it's rare to do one of these, and if you sign 1, you're pretty blessed. To sign 2, you're really thinking that the good Lord's looking out for you. But when you sign 3, that's enough to be really happy about. And then when you sign 4, you're just being a glutton, and I love it. So why don't you tell us about yourself and where you're from, and say hi to the family?
So my name is Malik Claiborne. I'm from Kansas City, south of there, from Belton in a town. Shout out to my mom, family, brothers. Love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for the support. And I'm happy to be here and happy to be a part of the organization.
Yeah, and Malik's one of those guys, again, where all of our veteran players that showed up today to help out and be a part of this all said the same thing. You know,
that one?
Yeah, he stands out. I had him already on my book, and you want to get the opinions of your coaches and that, but I think we figured out pretty early on he was special. So if you're ready, just print your name there and sign there. And I will sign it. So again, you can't get out of the deal.
Malik Claiborne, your newest San Antonio Gunslinger.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we're glad to have you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love my job.
Another break.
All right. We'll be back in 30.
Quality. Here at John Wayne, it's not just a word, it's our foundation. From the people we employ, to the service that's provided, to the equipment that we design and install, quality matters. For nearly 20 years, providing quality Texas comfort to the San Antonio area communities has been our highest priority. Right now, get a complete new system with affordable monthly payments from $72, plus get no interest and no payments for 12 months. For quality you can count on, call John Wayne today.
Well, what a day, Coach. 8:30, and it's closing in on 12:30. We promised people 4 hours, and would you believe our viewership has been hovering around 50 for the last 2 hours?
Wow.
Coast to coast. Some of our sponsors coming in.
Do something Saturday. Well, I think,
well,
I think part of this,
spend the time with
way
us.
I timed this was we'd be wrapping up right around college football getting started. So that way people wouldn't have to miss their college football fix.
They wouldn't have to choose.
Yeah, right.
Between us and...
No, but you know what? It was a great opportunity, not only for the fans that came, but also the athletes that showed up. We can't thank the sponsors enough, especially South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital and Angie Hoffman and her whole crew and what they provided for this day. The kids were great. I mean, they gave great effort. The coaches coached them up. I think even the ones that won't be invited back, I think they're going to be better football players for the time they spent here and had a great experience. Right now they're eating a gourmet meal, so I don't know a lot of places where you go to a tryout and then you get fed and taken care of the way we feed and take care of our players. So it was just a nice event, all in all. And thank you, Lord, for the weather. We sure appreciate you.
Yeah, that was absolutely spectacular. The weather from the beginning, it's nice and cool, dry, everything we could have wanted. Some names to mention. Definitely want to thank again All Sports Speed and Performance for them coming out and helping with the timing of the event. That was instrumental. I could see.
Coach Bebe.
Yeah, you were out on the field and you were relaxed. You didn't have to be tracking all the stuff. You could just be looking for the talent. South Texas Spine and Tissue, as we said, complete care. Matenga's didn't get Henga on, but she was handing out food and samples the whole time. Gabe Munguia of Outback from De Zavala coming out, and our food sponsors.
All that great food for the athletes provided by Outback was fantastic.
And our players and personnel want to thank DJ as well as Kali for coming on. And from the staff, obviously we had James was on and Crystal was on as well. We never did get Robert Seco. That guy is always so elusive. Never going to be able to pin him down, I guess.
don't think there's really anything elusive about him. You just got to make an appointment. We're going to have Robert on a show coming up here in the next couple weeks, and
he can't
him
escape.
and I have been busting our butts trying to get great stuff out there, and you know, he makes this old coach feel good about his job once in a while, where he, you know, we put stuff together in short order and we do everything we need to do. So, you know, it's been a great experience, and we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep putting out content, and as long as you'll keep watching it, we'll stay here, right?
Anything else to say before we wrap this all up and put a bow on it?
No, I mean, just again, thank you to everybody that helped. Thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to the athletes. Thank you to the coaches. No one person does this. It truly takes the entire organization, and they do it. I still want to wish Jordan and April and their family a safe trip and a fun one. They deserve it. I'm glad they're having it. If they're watching, we love you. We miss you guys. I know the kids are having a blast. And to everybody else, stay tuned. We're only going to keep trying to get bigger and better, not only on the field, but what we provide you in the way of content.
A special thanks before we go, Kevin Evans, my camera operator, technical director, Jen Monomo for being the producer, wrangling guests and bringing them into the show all the time. I can't believe that I ran out of time before I ran out of guests. I was so worried about that, Coach.
I told you. I gave you a great list.
Yeah, we didn't even exhaust the list. I could go another 2 hours, but hey, and we're leaving with 50 unique viewers. Thank you very much, X. You've been carrying the load the whole time. 46 viewers on X Twitter already.
And it's going to be watched for the next, several weeks, months. All these kids. That's the beautiful thing about the way we do the show is that we're syndicated. It's rewatched, and all these kids are going to have family, and their family's going to watch it and see them signing their contracts, and that's a big deal. I mean, NFL players don't often get the opportunity, only a couple of the elites. For a young man to come out here and sign his first pro contract, that's pretty special, and we're glad we were able to provide that to him.
And I guess that will do it here from Gunslinger Nation.
Not so fast.
No, we got.
I got to say good night to some people, some goodbyes to people.
Well, good afternoon, anyway.
Okay. All right, Miss Susan, I know you just got back, and I'm sure you're exhausted, but I love you and I miss you. Eli, Mila, and Liliana, Papu loves you. Have a good day. God bless everybody. Thanks for watching.
This has been Branded, the 50th episode, the Combine Show, live from San Antonio Gunslingers Nation, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. Don't forget, like to subscribe and comment. And as always, keep your guns up. Good afternoon, everybody.